right. We have Jesus Rojas, right?
That's it.
I said it right?
You said it right.
All right, but I'm going back to Tico.
Let's keep it.
Okay, after a lot of requests for you from the last one that you did with Glenn, we got you in here to tell your story. So
I appreciate the invite. I sure do.
And I appreciate you coming in.
No, it's my pleasure.
So you're running a treatment center. You're getting into the media, the entertainment, everything else. But let's start from the beginning. So you're from Cuba, right? And then how old are you when you come over from Cuba?
11. 13 days before my 11th birthday.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
At that time, how was Cuba? Like, how was the living conditions, the price of things, what are those? It's communist, right?
Yeah. It's communist since 1959. I mean, I can tell you from what I know based on stories and stuff. Fortunately, I can't sit here and tell you that I had it rough, that it was, I didn't. My mom was a secretary for some big international firm. My dad worked for one of the firms for the government, and he was the head of kind of like food distribution for that company. So I pretty much did all right. Like, my family wasn't starving. There wasn't like a lot of people are where they have it rough. In 1998, when I came over here, was pretty much the back end of the recession that was going on post the fall of Soviet Union. So I didn't catch a lot of the bad. It's a lot worse now. But back then, you had the back end of the recession from the Soviet Union, but Cuba was already kind of getting a hold of other different countries to do deals, to do trade, to kind of have stuff imported into the country. So I still caught a lot of the pretty good stuff. The one thing I can say about the childhood is I didn't notice any of that. I didn't miss a PlayStation because I didn't know what the PlayStation was. I mean, I didn't miss a computer.
I guess that fixes that problem.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't miss having a cell phone or a laptop or anything like that because I didn't know what any of that stuff was. But I mean, I was one of the first kids in the block to have a Nintendo 64.
Holla at your boy.
Yeah, So the stuff that I didn't know about, my grandpa was here. My grandpa came in the 60s. So, that was a big help too. But those are things you don't think about as a kid. It's just there,
So when you were growing up, it wasn't like it is now, right?
No, God, no.
No.
I mean, in no shape, way, or form. Like, it's always been rough, okay? But I've never known it personally. Again, me personally. And again, I'm only 34 now. So I've never personally known it to be as bad as it is now. I know it's been worse, but that was before my time. Like right after the fall of the Soviet Union, I mean, people were freaking frying, what are those things called that you clean the floors with? Like,
do you know?
Like the sheets that you clean the floor with, floor mats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They would use them and then fry them and eat them.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like they would use freaking condoms as cheese for pizzas.
What?
Like crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Why would they do that?
Because they didn't have anything else.
Oh my God.
They didn't have anything else.
How do you use a condom for cheese for pizza?
I don't know. I guess you break it, you put it on the pizza, and it melts. I don't know. But, I mean, these are stories that I heard from people that lived through it.
Wow.
So I know it's been bad. It's not that bad right now, but it's getting close. Right now, it's getting close to that.
When was the last time you were there?
February.
Really?
Yeah, because my dad passed away, so.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
So how is it now? Like when you went over there now, is it fucking crazy?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I got off the phone with a friend of mine yesterday talking about he was going to go get a pig from somebody else that kind of found him one, Oh,
a pig?
Yeah, like a little 80-pound pig, I think 50 or 80 pounds, I think it was. Now, this is a person that has always raised pigs. That has always had 10, 15 pigs, and he doesn't have any now because there aren't any. And even if you find some, you don't have anything to feed them.
And why isn't there any now? Like, what's the deal that there isn't any now?
Well, you have the combination of COVID, obviously, with international, the worldwide. Everybody shut down. Everybody closed their borders. Everybody just said, no, but nothing in, nothing out. So that's one thing. You also have pretty much every country that has ever done business with Cuba is to the point where they say, I'm no longer doing business with you. So you don't pay your bills. You know.
So now nobody wants to sell anything to your country because
cash up
they
front.
don't pay. Yeah,
cash up front.
and they don't want to do that, right?
They don't. I mean, even if they did, they don't have that much. Cuba doesn't produce anything. Cuba doesn't export anything real. I mean, I think the last thing I knew they exported was sugar, which Russia used to buy it, Venezuela used to buy it, but it was subpar sugar. Like, it was below market sugar. It wasn't good sugar. But they would buy it just as an aid. You know, just to help you out, I'm going to buy your shit.
Wow.
But that was it, you know. Now Venezuela, with their crisis that they're going through as well, they says, no, I can't. You know.
Oh, I didn't know that there's nothing exported from Cuba.
Nothing.
Not even fucking rice?
No. Nothing.
Nothing,
man. Cuba imports right now like 95% of everything that they consume.
Wow.
You know, and whatever they export is lobster.
That's about it?
I mean, and how much lobster can you export?
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's all. I mean, and I might be wrong. I'm not an expert in the subject. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you my opinion based on what I've seen, based on conversations I've had. But you can look up Cuba. I mean, lobster, you can find lobster exported from Cuba in Spain and in Europe. You can't find it in Cuba, but you can find it in Europe. You know? But again, how much lobster are you going to export?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be enough to feed your country. It's not, you know, there's no way.
Right. And then you were raised old school, right? Your family raised you old school, like they do in Italy, like rabbits.
Yeah, that's probably one of the things I love the most about my family. It's good and bad. Growing up, it was horrible because you don't understand it, and you know why so strict, and why are things the way they are when I don't understand them. You know what I'm saying? But now, being older, you get to appreciate that kind of stuff, and especially when you look back in yourself and the values and the morals and the principles that instills in you. You know.
See, I think raising old school makes you a man or a woman.
I think so.
You know, when you're raised like a little bitch, and you're going to be a little bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they don't do that now.
Yeah.
Because you can't do anything.
Yeah, and I don't have anything against anybody, but, you know, when you're teaching a fourth grader, hey, it's okay to wear a skirt, or hey, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's gotta be a certain balance. You know, you can't tell a child that's not developed, that doesn't know who he is, that has no idea of what's going on around him, and there may be nothing wrong with it, to use the word wrong or right, but you're confusing. At the end of the day, you're confusing the kid. You know, and I think that's what a lot of people don't get. It's not about whether it's wrong. No, there's nothing wrong with you telling a 16-year-old, hey, if you want to wear pants, you can wear pants, or a 16-year-old boy saying, if you want to wear a skirt, go for it. Because he knows better. He knows whether or not he likes it. But it's not the same case when you're talking to a 3 or 4-year-old.
Yeah.
You know, that's my only thing. Back then, old school, like I was saying, like that, no. Like I have an earring on. I have an earring on right now.
Yeah.
Right? I got my earring. I got my earring when I was 13. Okay? I was obviously living here. The first time I took a trip to Cuba, I took my earring off. Okay? The second time, I would hide it from my uncle. Because you don't wear earrings, man.
Same thing.
You know,
I had the same thing. Yeah. I got it done. My mom wouldn't let me do it. Yeah. My dad wouldn't let me do it. My grandpa wouldn't let me do it. There was absolutely no.
Nah.
But all my friends had diamond studs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I went and
got
So I got it done behind their back, and boy did I get my ass kicked.
Yeah, man.
My mom was screaming, "Get that motherfucking shit out of your ear!" My dad was like, "Jesus Christ, I raised a pussy." and my grandpa was like bigger than him.
He almost had a heart attack.
He was 6'6", bigger than him, right off the boat, like a motherfucker. And you know, he came in and he saw them earrings, ripped them right the fuck out of my ear.
Sure.
I mean, walked up to me,
didn't say nothing, just went
ripped them out, and that was the end of the earring days until I was, well, basically until he died. And then my dad's an asshole, so fuck him. So I don't care what he says. And but when I was around my mom, even when I was older, she would still break my balls about the earring.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Forever, because
sure.
But then when I got into business, you know, I noticed that, like when I had an engineering company, I noticed the difference that the way that
people treated you.
Yeah, like if you're going to get like a high-end job done and you're walking in there with diamond earrings, you know, they look at you differently right from the gate, and then you're fucked.
Absolutely.
And I noticed that they look at the watch and the shoes. Yeah. And if you're in a suit, the tie. It's always a tie, watch, shoes, and if it got tailored. And I know because when I started wearing suits, I thought like Macy's was cool and shit. And I realized real quick that I need to.
Same thing, man. Same thing. I went through the exact same thing. I was like, oh, as long as I'm wearing a suit, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I learned that.
And you know what's fucked up, really? You go get like a Zana suit, you know, that's like $3-4 grand. Yeah. And it really doesn't, it's not really like physically, it doesn't feel any better than like a Calvin Klein.
No, but the thing is.
But they know it's a fucking Zana. So now they look at you differently. Yep. Or what's the other one? Braconi or whatever the other one is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think one thing I learned, because I'm kind of stingy. I've always been kind of stingy. I have no problem admitting that I'm stingy. So I've always said I spend money on watches and suits. But even then, like, I won't spend $7 grand on a suit. Like, I just won't. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I learned to kind of, if you buy something that kind of looks okay, that looks good. Let's just put it, something that looks good, and you get a really good tailor, you can wiggle yourself around.
You can, depending on who you're dealing with.
Absolutely.
You know, like I was dealing with the breakers. Yeah. So that fucker knew right away.
Yeah, they know.
You know what I mean? So that was a done deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tried, and you know, that was it. But like when you're doing what you're doing, you know, when you're going to meeting, but if you're going with somebody like the Breakers or fucking some like real heavy hitting shit, you could try to make that Macy's look good all you want. They know. They know like the ridges in the motherfucker.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's insane. And it's always funny, like you can see the face change. Yeah. Like you can see the expression just go whoop.
100%.
You know, it's incredible. It's crazy.
Yep. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So now you came over, in 98?
98, yep.
And then that you would have been, because you were born 87.
Right.
So you were what?
11.
11. Yeah, you did say that. Okay. So you come over and then you go to high school. Mm-hmm. Now, did you know any English at all?
No, Jack.
Now, how is high school in America? Did you come to Florida?
Yeah. I came straight to Florida. I came in 98, came to Tampa, St. Petersburg. And then in year 2000, we came over here to West Palm. Been here ever since.
Now when you go to school, you don't know a lick of English, right?
Nothing, bro.
So how does that work?
It's interesting. One thing I can say about Cuba is the education system is pretty good.
Really?
So
I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah. And it's weird, man, because how can I explain this? And I'm talking about back then, okay? I don't know about now. I can't imagine. I'm sure it's not the same way now because you have freaking college kids teaching, you know, because pretty much everybody has left the country. Everybody that's worth a lick has left, you know. But back then, you had very good teachers. And, for example, I started here in the 6th grade, okay? I didn't know a lick of English, and I passed math class with an A. Like, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying?
How do you do it? Because you have to read shit, though.
But I had already done it. You see, so everything that I was being taught here in 6th grade, I was already taught 2 years ago. You see what I'm saying?
But how do you read the English, though?
Well, it's math. It's a problem.
It's just numbers.
It's just numbers.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So the good thing is they have what's called an ESOL program. I don't remember what the acronym is for, but it's basically for students that that English isn't their first language. So, yeah, with that, you one of your classes is someone who is bilingual who will sit with you and translate all your shit. So you can do your homework and your classes and stuff like that. You know, I mean, I was always a social bird. You know, I'm kind of an ass when you don't know me, and I take my time because I've always been like this. I like knowing who I'm around. So at first, when I walk into a room, I'm just like dead serious. You know, like, hi, how you doing? That's it. You know, but after a couple of days or after a couple of hours, depending on where I'm at, I loosen up real quick. So that's how I learned English. So
you kind of had like a tutor in a way, right?
Or yeah, I guess you can call him that. Yeah.
Because your English is good.
I talk a lot. I talk a lot of shit. I'm telling you, like I was never embarrassed.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I have a sister, right? So we came at the exact same time, and you sit my sister next to me, And it's a world of difference, her accent versus mine. Because, I mean, I still have an accent. There are still certain words that trick me up. There are still certain things and sentences when I talk too fast that'll trip me up, you know. But, I mean, you put my sister next to me, and her accent is completely different.
What, it's stronger?
Yeah, a lot stronger, because my sister's a lot more of an introvert. She's a lot shyer than I am. She's not, you know, she's not the whole let's talk, no. Like, my sister just kind of stays to herself, and that's it.
Well, whatever guy finds her is a lucky fucking man.
Yeah, man. You know, but that was my thing. Like, I like talking.
Your sister's probably every guy's dream. She doesn't talk.
No, she doesn't, man. Well, nah, that's the thing. She doesn't talk outside the house.
When she gets mad, though, forget about it.
She doesn't talk outside the house. But yeah, no, my sister's beautiful. She's a strong woman. She has a very, very strong personality, but she's shy. You know, she doesn't like the feeling of failure, I guess I would describe it, and that kind of held her back from practicing English. Because that feeling of people laughing at you, people making fun of you, because they do. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know.
Yeah, you know what? I did it too. You know what I mean? No. I can admit it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's just kids.
Yeah. You don't know what you're doing.
That's the thing. It's not because of anything other than you're a kid, man. And that's what you do. You're a dick.
Yeah, you're a dick. You know, if you're playing sports or something and then, you know, the guy comes in from Cuba or whatever, it's not that you're fucking racist or anything like that.
It's just you're a kid.
It's just growing up.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of growing up.
You know?
Hell, I remember I was over here in high school, Forest Hill High School, and I pants somebody in the front of the entire school.
You what?
I pants him.
You pant? Yeah, I remember we used to pants
him. Butt naked in front of the entire school. You know what I'm saying? I felt horrible like 5 years later when when you have to really think back about it. But at that time, I was the funniest shit in the world.
Oh, we used to do that all the time.
You know, and it's just, you were a kid. So
about pants is only with a little pecker right in front of everybody. You know, like when everybody goes out to wait for the bus to come and shit. Me and my boys, we'd sit around and like whatever asshole we didn't like, you know, like some fucking asshole thought that he was big shit. And he's really nothing, like, you know, I'm a boxer, I'm this or whatever. We'd have one of our guys go pants his ass, and his cock was like this small. You know, a pencil thick motherfucker.
That's horrible.
I'll never forget. I don't want to say his name because he'll probably see this. Yeah. I don't want any problems. I'm done with problems. I've had enough.
Absolutely, man.
So now you start. Now, what was the toughest thing when you went to go to learn English? I know you had a little bit of a background. You had a tutor. What's the toughest thing when you go to learn English? Because I tried to learn Spanish, and
the pronunciation. The thing with Spanish is you pronounce the word exactly how it's written. Okay? You read it, you pronounce it exactly how it's written. English, it's all over the place. Like, you know, and you can sound one way in one word and it can sound a different way in another word. You know, recognizing that, I think, to me, is the hardest thing.
Yeah, because like there can be spelled like 5 different ways, right? Right? I mean, I'm the worst fucking grammar guy in the planet. There's like THEIR, THERE, TH.
Weather. The word weather.
Yeah, that would fuck me up if I was
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're like, what? You know? So I think that was the toughest thing, is the pronunciation, because even like your tongue fucking moves different and it twists differently in order for you to be able to pronunciate the words correctly. So that was definitely a learning experience.
When I was taking Spanish classes, it seemed like when I hear it, it's like so fucking fast.
Well, yeah.
When you hear it, is it like fast to you, or is it like we're talking right now?
It's fast, but I can pick up on it. You know, but I know you're talking fast.
Millie speaks Spanish, right?
Yeah, and the one thing I always said was it depends on the person. Her mom speaks very fast. I'm like, slow down.
Yeah.
Because I can pick the words apart. But when they go real fast, I'm like, I'm lost. Like, I'll get like cake. I'll hear like different words, and I'm like, okay, she's saying this and put this together. I think I got the sentence. But some Spanish people, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, Cubans are notorious for that. Like, we run over sentences.
Yeah.
Like, it's a freight train, man. Like, we just.
Do you ever get like, because there's different Puerto Ricans, right?
Yeah.
Dominicans, Cubans. Do you get any like weird like terms that mean something in Cuban that's totally different in another language? Like
bicho,
bizcocho, bicho. What's that?
Bicho in Cuba is bug, and Puerto Rican is penis.
Really?
Yeah. Learned that one the hard way.
Puta is what, bitch?
Puta's bitch. That's pretty much universal.
But like one's like bizcocho, and like Mexican's like a piece of cake.
Yeah.
And then in like another language, it's like a piece of ass.
Yeah.
So one guy the one time said to me, "Go ask that guy for a piece of bizcocho." And I'm like, "Oh, it's cake." Go up to the guy, go, "Hey, can I get a piece of bizcocho?"
Oh
and he
my
looked
God.
at me, and I'm like, "Why is he staring at me like this?"
Yeah.
The guy's laughing his
And you
balls
figured
off
out the fuck why.
because it was asking for a piece of ass.
But
Yeah.
see, like Italian, it's like bella, bello. Yeah, like if you're speaking to a male, it's
Or-
always everything's always ends in an O.
Right.
It's always a woman.
Same thing with Spanish.
So I can understand Italian pretty much, but for whatever reason, I'm retarded and I can speak very little of it. But like when my mother was alive and she would talk to me, I could understand it,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't speak it. You know, I could understand most of it, because she would do that bullshit too, like that crazy fast.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, holy fuck, talk English. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. Man, she used to get so mad that I couldn't speak.
Yeah,
I just
man.
couldn't get it. It was just one of them.
But that's it. It's practice.
Yeah.
It's practice, Tommy. Like how many Italian friends did you have? Like literally that you spoke Italian with.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. Like I surrounded myself with English. Like not saying I didn't have Spanish friends. Like obviously I did because I don't understand half the word anybody's saying. You know what I'm saying? But I got home and it was English TV. I got everything, music English, radio English. Everything that I did and heard and watched was in English.
So now, your dad was working 3 jobs, right?
My stepdad.
Your stepdad.
Yeah, so my stepdad, basically my dad. He was really my second dad. I don't like you saying stepdad because again, he and my mom got married when I was 8 months old. You know, my biological father, let's say, was a hell of a drunk.
Yeah.
Like big bad time drunk.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so that ended the relationship between my dad and my mom. And like I said, when I was 8 months old, she married this other gentleman, and I mean, up until 10 years ago, they were together. He died in an accident at work. So he raised
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was tough. So he raised me. I mean, my dad was never out of the picture. My dad was always involved in my growing up, in raising me. He would sleep over the house. Because Cuba is different. Like here, you can't imagine, your ex-husband coming over and just sleeping over for the weekend, and your new husband just being chilled about it. Like that's normal in Cuba. It's not, as long as there's a good communication. Like it's nothing out of the ordinary.
Now, you today, here in America, because are you married?
Yeah.
Okay, you're married. Would you let one of your exes?
No, I don't think I could. I'd have a hard time.
Fuck no.
I'd have a hard time.
Yeah, that ain't happening over here.
Yeah.
That ain't happening in my house.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's something normal over
Yeah, it's
there.
normal there.
Because, and again, you have such lack of opportunity, and where else are you going to go?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just go outside and rent a place.
It might be like that in Italy, because my cousins, there's like fucking 10 of them in one house.
Yeah.
They're poor. Like I was telling you on the other one, they always want polo. They're stuck on this fucking polo the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
They just want they give like polo jeans to them is like a fucking Rolex to us. Like the high end Rolex to us, to them a polo shirt, just a polo shirt is like a Rolex here.
Yeah.
Or like a fucking Mercedes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy, but I know I got 11 cousins that live in one house.
Wow.
And it's like 3 bedrooms.
Yeah. It's the same thing over there. Like the lack of opportunity forces you to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And that's what you grow up with. That's how you grow up. That's
I never thought of that. They probably do that shit over there in my fucking country.
Yeah, man. It wouldn't be.
But they don't got a choice.
That's the thing. It wouldn't be seen weird because they don't know anything else.
Yeah. So when you look at it that way, you can understand it.
Yeah. No, here, I'd be like, no, bitch, go to a hotel. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
And then you were dead set in going into the military.
I was in high school, yeah.
Like the Marines?
The Marines.
So you were going for the
I signed up, yeah. I signed up. Like, I signed up for the Marines on the 12th grade. On my senior year, I signed up for the Marines. I did, like, I guess they had back then, again, I don't know, back then they had an early training program where you could go to the local recruitment office and train with them before you actually deployed, or before you went to boot camp, not deployed. Before you went to boot camp, you could do that. You know what I'm saying? And I would go over there every weekend and train my ass off with them, and it was fun, man. But yeah, I was dead set on going.
And what made you want to go into the military? Like, you just got out of Cuba.
Uh-huh.
You were there till you were 11. I know you lived a good life, but you got to know by 18.
Yeah.
Cuba, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
So what made you want to go into the military?
I don't know, man. I felt like it was. I felt like giving something back. It's hard to explain because I've never actually asked myself that question. But I would say that sense of giving back, outside from, at the time, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world, that sense of preparing yourself, that sense of being capable of protecting yourself, that sense of being capable of protecting someone around you. I think that was my main motivation. I wanted to be able to give back in a certain way that would also prepare me to protect my family, I guess, or my life. I don't know, but I think in essence, that was the idea.
Yeah, you wanted to give back, basically, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you graduate high school, then you go to college for homeland security, right?
Yeah, because my mom kind of like when at one point when she realized like I was serious and like this wasn't a joke, she literally walked with me to the recruitment office and says, "He's not 18. You can't take him," and freaking ripped the contract in front of me. Like, she was at a point where she was like, "Yeah, whatever." Like, "Yeah, whatever." She thought I was kidding. And when she realized like my graduation date was coming up,
she's like, "Oh, hell no."
Yeah, and I was still on that train. She was like, "Yeah, let's go see them. Let's go meet him." And she met the recruiter. She goes like, "Where's his paperwork?" So he obviously, he has to bring it out to her. He goes like, "Yeah, he's not 18.
And what did the recruiter say?
He's just like,
"What the fuck?"
What? Yeah, pretty much like, what just happened?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he's looking at me and he was like, this is your choice. If you want to go, you can. And I'm looking at my mom. She's looking at me like, and I mean, I'm like, just like, I can't.
You didn't do it?
No, I mean, again, it's like you're going to go against directly to what your mother's telling you not to do.
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to the whole, the way you're raised. Like, I couldn't, man. Like, I looked at her and I'm 18, almost 18 at that point. But still, the fear of God it's in you. You know what I'm saying? She just looks at you sideways. She doesn't have to say anything. You're like, "Yeah, you want to go? You want to go?"
See, and that's what's missing today, because you see your mom came in and, like you just said, she looks at you sideways, you were shaped up. That was it.
Yeah, man. And it's not like she was an abusive mother. It's not like she beat me to death. It's not like she beat me with a stick every other day. No, like I think I can
probably... She gave you a slap, but
I can probably count with one hand, you know what I'm saying, the amount of times that my mom put her hands on me. But it's just a different way of raising the kid that you instill the respect, not the beating.
Yeah.
The beating goes away. The hurt goes away, But something that... There was something about the way they raised kids back then.
Well, I just want somebody to tell me how you put fear in any kid without a slap once in a while.
No, you have to, and that's what I'm saying. It's not like, and that's what I say. Like I have a 3 years old. She's gonna be 4 next month, and like I don't let anybody hit her, obviously, stuff like that. But I'm the firm belief that one spanking at a precise and particular moment does more than anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think I've done it once.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And no, I don't mean freaking beat her until she's black and blue.
Right.
But one spank.
Right.
That's
you
it.
Just mean you like you do with a dog. Like he fucks up, you slap him on the ass.
Yeah, and that's it.
And then he knows you mean business.
They know and they learn.
Yeah, that's how I train my dog.
Yeah, man.
But what's funny about dogs is you got to catch them when they do it.
Yeah.
Because they got like short-term memory.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you come home 3 hours later and they pissed in your kitchen and you slap them, they don't know why you slapped them. But if you catch them in the act and then just give them a little, they learn real quick.
Yeah.
And you're not hurting them.
No.
But the way kids are raised now, which I said 110, 14 video, how many videos?
Talk about all the time. Just
because it drives me crazy.
There's no like, this is how I always say it. If there's a hot stove, you put your hand on it, what happens?
You get burned.
You burn your hand. So when you burn your hand, now the next time you come in the kitchen, you're going to think twice about putting your hand on that stove because you just burned yourself. Same thing with a kid. Again, like you said, not to beat the kid where he's bleeding and all this type of stuff, but Give the kid a crack for something he did wrong. He's going to think twice again. Do I do that again? No, I don't want to do that again. Nope.
When did that all start, Rob?
I'm 36, but my parents were older, so I was raised like him, old.
No, I mean, when did it start when, like, America started being like, oh, you know, no discipline in none of this shit?
I think it was the last generation, I guess.
Yeah, I think you would say probably the 2005, 2007, 2008.
It just started to go
gradually get like,
you know, and then there was probably a case here and there, right, where somebody took it overboard, right? So then it looks bad. You're like, oh, look at this guy really beat the shit out of his kid, but you know,
and that's what happens with a lot of shit. You know, you have, like a drug on the market that's a good drug, and then one moron. For an example, I don't know if you know what it is, but there was like you would take it before you would work out. You take it like to lose a little bit of weight, energy and shit. It was called ephedrine. Not this fake ephedrine now that they try to act like it's ephedrine. The chemical is mohang, right? And it's an extract, and it works really good. Well, these baseball players were taking it, and they were taking 3, 4, 5 times the amount, like kids in high school. Then they're out in the heat with no water, and they're dropping dead. Yeah. So now, after 4, 5, 6 of them drop dead, they ban it. Yeah. And it was a great pre-workout drug. It was a great, and it wasn't even a drug; it's a fucking plant, and it was a great thing to take to lose some weight, where you don't have to go take some prescription chemical bullshit or whatever. But because they abused it, they banned it.
But that's the thing. One person abuses it.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's all it takes.
And then in relation, one guy or 10 guys or 20 people out of, how many people are in the country? 400 million?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or however fucking many. You know what? 0.1%, they take it too far. And then now the new movement, put the kid in the fucking room. Don't even get me started on that one. We'll be here till 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and that's the thing I don't get. Like, that doesn't stop that one guy.
Yeah.
The one guy that did it, still going to do it.
Yeah, he's going to go to court. He's going to get a 10-piece. He's going to get out and do the same.
Still going to do it. That's not going to stop him. If you're going to do it, me telling you, hey, you can't do that, is not going to stop you. That's in the person. That's same thing with the gun laws. No. I mean, you can make all the laws you want. The only one you're stopping is you and me. The guy that's out there, Greg, he's still going to do it. He's doing it now. Can put 1,000 new laws. He's still going to do it.
See, that's so stupid to me because now if a person wants a gun, they're going to go get a gun, right? Yeah. So now when you make it so hard to get a gun, they're just going to go to the streets and get it.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is 1,000 times worse than just, backing off the whole gun shit.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm all for it, your background. I'm all for it.
Yeah, right, of course.
But there's a certain point where you're making it so hard for the normal citizen to buy one. That, again, that's not going to stop the guy that wants to buy a gun to commit murder. Like, that's not going to stop him. He's not going to go to the store and register a gun and then go kill somebody with a gun that he just registered.
Like, so say you have a felony, but it's nonviolent. There should be no reason why you can't go get a gun because that guy is going to go get a gun either way. Yeah. He's going to get it. Now, I can understand if you have a violent... Well, actually, I don't understand any of it. I personally think once you do your time... and you do your probation. I did my time. I paid my fine or whatever it may be. I'm done. I'm finito.
And that's the whole idea. You've done your time. You've paid your debt to society. You've paid your dues.
But it's with you forever. When you go to vote.
You can't vote.
You can't do shit.
I mean, like...
Wait, so never? You can never vote or never own a gun if you have a felony?
If you have a felony, you can never vote. You can never go buy a gun.
Ever,
period.
I think the only exception to that is if you seal your court records. Like if you expunge your records, which you can only do once.
Yeah.
Okay. If you expunge your records, and it's not a blanket statement. Depending on what you were convicted of, is whether or not you can expunge your record. You see what I'm saying? So for certain non-offenders, like people with
white-collar
crime, stuff like that, you can go and expunge your record, and now you're squeaky clean. But other than that, you're hit for life.
I didn't know. I didn't know the voting thing. I thought you could.
Yeah. Vote. So in relation to what he said, so how it is basically you're pretty much on point with it. Unfortunately, I know this. As long as it's as long as it's a white-collar crime with no violence, you've had no violence in your past, you completed everything you completed, whatever, after 7 years, you can file a motion for it to be expunged. That doesn't mean they're going to do it. It's up to the judge.
True.
The judge could say, fuck you. I don't care if you just, didn't pay your taxes for 2 years. No.
Yeah.
It's up to the judge.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
But if you have more than one felony,
no,
you're never getting it.
Yeah, no, you're
never, ever getting it. You can't vote. You can't get a gun.
See, that's bullshit. Because then, so why? What does that show? You go to jail. You're supposed to go, right? You did something wrong, and hopefully you become not
rehabilitated.
Rehabilitated.
That's a fucking joke.
Rehabilitated, right? And be able to come back out and go into society and add to society. You learn from your faults. You made your mistakes. You get rehabilitated, as you said, and you're supposed to go out. So by saying, hey, you served your time. We rehabilitate you. You rehabilitate yourself. Now you can go back into society. But guess what? You can't do this or that. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, it's not only that. It affects your job.
Everything.
When you go to apply for a job, they see a felony. Good luck. SBA loan. Good luck.
Yeah.
You go to rent. Forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you go to get a loan.
Just something as small as that. You go to rent an apartment.
Yeah. I had to get it in my mom's name.
Yeah. You're hit. You're hit.
Forever. So it's so many things. So, I just think if you do your fucking time and you do it all, what the fuck?
And that was the main idea behind it. That was the plan, I guess I should say. The design was that. You do your time, you pay your dues, you pay your debt to society, and you come out,
And that's why people just go back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it makes it so tough for if you're not an entrepreneur like you or myself or Rob or Glenn, people like that, what are you going to do?
No, it's hard.
You'll never, unless you know somebody, you'll never, in my opinion, I shouldn't say never, but your chances are slim to none that you're ever going to get a decent job unless you're self-made.
Slim to none. Slim to none. And I think it goes back, unless you know somebody.
Yeah.
You're not, because all everybody sees is what's on paper.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And as soon as they see felony,
that you're dead.
That's it.
They're dead.
Your application goes in the trash.
You can go to try to lease a car, and if they see felony, if you go to get a nicer car and they see a felony on it, the fucking underwriter will deny you.
Yeah.
Merchant, they'll deny you.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Then you have to get a high risk merchant.
Yeah.
When I had the fucking engineering company, I had to get a high risk merchant.
Yeah.
For engineering.
That's crazy.
And not input the card number. I'm talking swipe the fucking card.
Yeah, no.
I had to get a high risk merchant because of that.
Yeah.
And you can't trust nobody, so you can't ask somebody else to fucking put. You know what I mean?
And let me put this processor in your car.
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
It's all good for a couple months, right? Okay, so then you go to college and you almost get your bachelor's degree, right?
Yeah, I got my associate in Homeland Security, and then.
So you did do. Well, so you didn't do the the military, but you did do the Homeland Security.
Yeah, I still went in. I still went in. I went to college. I signed up for college for International Business Administration, and that lasted all of half a semester. And then I was just this isn't me. You know what I'm saying? I can't
boring
do
as
this.
hell.
Yeah, I can't do this. I can't, And I switched my major to Homeland Security.
And what is that? So when you switch your major to Homeland Security, what do they teach you?
Homeland Security,
other than nothing that you're going to use in real life, but what do they attempt to?
It's technically a degree if you want to pursue a future in some sort of federal agency. So if you want to do state police, like federal police, or FBI, or I wouldn't say CIA because that's way different, but any sort of federal agency, that degree, it's kind of geared towards preparing you for that. Because criminal justice is criminal justice. Criminal justice is the clerk at the courthouse. But that one is geared to kind of start training. I mean, one of my professors was an FBI agent. So it's gearing you and preparing you for what this is going to look like if you ever make it into one of these, federal agencies.
Give me an example of a thing or two that they taught you in Homeland Security degree-ish.
They're heavy on psychology. They're heavy on interviewing people, reading people. They're heavy into not so much your local laws, but how interagencies work with each other. like FBI with local police, like federal police with FBI, the whole jurisdiction BS. They're heavy into that.
And the FBI can take a case from the county, state.
Yeah,
like they I've seen them with my own eyes. They would wait and let the state do all the work.
Yeah.
And then take the fucking case.
And then come in and says,
you know what I mean? The prosecutor's killing himself for 3 years, tracking this motherfucker. You know what I mean? And then the feds come in and say, we're going to take this.
Yeah. FBI, DEA, the Drug and Alcohol Agency. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Now, when they were teaching you about how to read people, like give me an example of something that they taught.
Okay, so if you're during an interview, like if you look to the right and the left versus if you look to the right and the right versus, or up and the right versus if you look down, your hand gestures, if you take the cup, if you put something in front of them and they actually take it, and if they take it, how fast do they take it, how fast do they eat it, how fast do they drink whatever you give them. All those are little cues to kind of figure out whether the person's being honest, whether they're lying, whether they have an intention to flee, stuff like that. Like, it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that does sound interesting. So what did they teach you about like if somebody's lying? Like if somebody's lying, what are some of the skills that you learn?
I mean, the first cue is they won't look at you in the face.
Right in the eyes.
Right in the eyes. That's the first. But I mean, that's a general. That's a general idea of everybody knows. If you can't look at me in the face, you're probably lying, right? But if you're looking at me and I ask you a question that you're not expecting, and then you kind of do this, so you look up and to the right, you're making something up.
It's not a tough one though, because maybe somebody just is uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like they feel weird or they're shy or whatever.
Yeah, but again, it's a whole series of them. It's not so that one cue wouldn't tell me that whether you're lying or not.
Give me 5 cues.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Yeah, you told me the eyes.
I mean, that's like the most standard, and basic stuff. But I mean, the way you look at, right? So obviously the eyes. If you look up and to the right, okay, you're usually making something up. If you look up to the left, you're trying to remember something, and it's, I guess, the way your brain works.
That's awesome. So the left is what?
If you're remembering.
If you're remembering, so right. So I'm trying to think of something, you would primarily look to your left, right?
Yeah.
And if you're lying, you would primarily look to your right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
If your hands, your palms gets real sweaty, if you start being fidgety, like all this, we're having a normal conversation. And then I ask you, normal conversation, all right, so 8 p.m., where were you last night? And you start going like.
Yeah, something fucked up.
Something's going on. And it might not necessarily mean that you're involved in whatever I'm asking you about, but you just don't want to tell me the truth about what you were doing.
So then you're just adding them up. So so now you got the eyes. You're not just going to base it on the eyes, but now you got the eyes. You got the moving around.
Right.
You're looking to the left. You're not looking at me in the eye.
Right.
And then by skill 6, now that either he's lying or you can make a pretty accurate judgment after 6 or 7 of the skills that you learn.
Are you constantly looking at the door? Are you looking at my file? Stuff like that you're trying to figure something out. Mm-hmm. Because I could be having a conversation with you and I could be looking at my phone. You see what I'm saying? I could gaze at the door once or twice, but it's not something that my eyes is constantly kind of going like this to try to figure out who's walking by the door. You see what I'm saying? And it's not me trying to look at what you have in front of you.
Yeah.
Those are all things that you're trying to gather information. And there's usually a reason for that. You want to know how much you're going to tell me and how much I already know.
That's good shit, right, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, and it's, again, they're heavy on the psychology in that degree. How to talk to people, kind of how to get around them, the way you talk, how fast you speak, all that kind of stuff.
I learned, go ahead, Rob.
My wife always has this. She knows my lying face, which I'm always like, I have a lying face.
Yeah.
I'll look a little to the left, and then sex face. There's sex face, too. She goes, you have your sex face on.
Where's Millie from?
She's half Puerto Rican. She's from here, but half Puerto Rican, half El Salvadorian.
Good mix. But yeah, it's unconscious cues that you do.
That's cool.
That as a person you do. You don't realize what they are. Like I talk a lot with my hands. So
do you notice that? Yeah, so I've learned to do.
Yeah, those are things.
When we first started, remember, Rob? I was everywhere.
Yeah.
So now a lot of times I sit back like this so I can keep my hands down, because the first probably I don't know, 30 that you started on. I mean, I was like, this fucking all. He'd be like, Tom, you gotta stop with the fucking hands.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm the same way. I'm a big hand talker, and I don't stand still.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for me to sit here and just.
You're pretty still.
Well, no, my legs are going crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like my legs are like this. You know what I'm saying? Constantly, because I have to be doing something, and those are just things that about the person that they can't change, and if they do, it takes a lot of work and effort. You know, and when you're sitting in an interview with somebody, you feel uncomfortable. Automatically, you feel, what's the word I'm looking for? You feel attacked, okay? You feel overwhelmed. You feel
scared.
Because even if you did nothing wrong,
you're still nervous.
You're still nervous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot for you to be under that much pressure and be like, totally cool.
Yeah, like, okay, you're going to give me 20 years? Okay,
whatever.
No problem. Okay,
you know,
what? I didn't do it, what?
Yeah.
You know? But that might be a sign to the agent that you didn't do it because you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Or be a good actor. One of the two, right?
You know?
Yeah, but nowadays, too, like I said, I think people don't teach their kids to, like, you know, everybody's in their cell phones. They're looking down. Kids are not looking at. I always tell my kids, when you're talking to somebody, you look them in the eye. You're just talking to them.
Yeah, no, that's gone now.
You know, the kids don't do that nowadays. They talk to you and they're looking that way, and you're like, are you going to look at me when I'm talking to you? Like, I don't know. It's just weird.
See, I learned at a young age. My grandpa taught me, an elder, you better look at a man or woman in the eye, anybody older than you, and you better hold that door open.
Yeah.
And then even somebody younger, he goes, when you talk to somebody, I don't care if it's a man or a woman, you look at eye contact.
Yeah.
And when I didn't, guess what I got?
Yeah.
Not in public, but when we went out to the fucking Cadillac or that dumbass Buick, had a fucking goddamn Buick, it was like a fucking boat. But when we went out there, bam, right in the back of the head. And I'd be like, you know, we'd get in the car and I'd go, bam, right in the back of my head. I'd be like, what the fuck was that for? You didn't eye contact, huh?
Yeah, man.
You got to respect people.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's the thing, that stuff is gone. Unfortunately, that stuff is gone, and it hurts. It hurts the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I'm working with my cousin. You'll meet him one of these days. But he's big into the Amazon stores and stuff like that. He's doing pretty good, you know. But like I'm kind of walking him around now. Like, this is the person you want to meet. Like, this is what you want to do. Like, I took him. I had on Saturday when I had that event over in Port St. Lucie. I took him with me, and I said, "No, come on. You need to start feeling out what it's like when you have 200 people around you and you want to sell yourself, because your business is selling people Amazon stores or whatever stores you're selling. You know what I'm saying?" And like literally, he would sit in a corner and be like this.
I can't fucking stand that.
You know, and I'm like,
cannot.
What are you doing?
I can't. I don't care if we're having a conversation about your cup of coffee. If I'm talking to you, why the fuck are you on your phone?
Yeah.
That is the most disrespectful fucking shit.
Absolutely.
And you know what? They all fucking do it these days.
It's normal to them. It's normal to them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told them. Like, what are you doing, man? Why did you come here?
Here's the best part. You're talking to them and you're telling them, like you say to me, hey, Tommy, what do you think of this coffee? You know, is it good? And now I know all about this, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you, and I'm taking my fucking time to explain to you about this coffee, right? You know, how it's made, because you asked me.
Yeah.
And you're on your phone, and I'm ignoring it because I know how shit is these days. So, okay, you're on the fucking phone. And then here's the best. Here's the best, where I just want to take the table and throw it. Ready? What'd you say? I'm sorry, what'd you say? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
I want to take the fucking table and just toss it right at him.
Yeah.
It drives me absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Like, he knows with me now, like, because I've taken his phone. Like, I've sat in front of him and said, like, yo, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I know, I can hear you. I was like, no, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking at you. I don't want to talk to the wall, but I'm talking to you. Get the freaking phone, put it down.
When he can't be here and somebody's got to fill in for him, give me the fucking phone.
Yeah.
Because I'll look over and I'll see him. I'll see like a real quick thing. Nah,
man. Yeah.
Phone. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. It's out of control. And you know what? It's just gonna get fucking worse.
And that's what I was trying to get at. Like, I went with him over there, and at one point, like, I'm freaking shooting the interview, and at one point I look at him and I said, dude, what are you doing? Like, why Oh, I came over here to kind of meet people, but I mean, we're just sitting here doing interviews. I said, yeah, there's 200 people right behind me. There's 17 artists right behind me. There's 15 managers right behind me. Why are you sitting down?
You know he's going to get buried if he doesn't change.
I was like, why are you sitting down? Oh, what do I tell him?
Fucking deal with it.
I said, dude, I just gave you a press pass. It's this big on your chest. Guarantee you, as soon as you shake somebody's hand, the first thing they're going to ask you is who you are and what do you do?
And you have a business card.
Exactly. So, I mean, in 30 seconds, I gave him a whole script. Go. You're like, oh shit, that was pretty good. It's like it's talking to people, bro. You have to get out of that little universe where it's your phone and your phone.
That little fucking box out there.
Yeah. And he did. Thankfully, that's I mean, I think he's my little cousin, and I pretty much, I'm not gonna say I raised him, but I've been around since what I'm saying, I used to give him piggyback rides.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always taken him everywhere with me. He's grown now, so obviously there's some distance, but we have a very good relationship, thankfully, where I can talk to him and he'll actually pay attention and listen.
Yeah, repetition.
Yeah.
Repetition of that and pushing him and take his phone.
Yeah. No, I do. I do. Like when I'm having a conversation with him, I'll be the first one to do it. Like I'll put my phone down first. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as I see him grab his phone, I tell him, I was like, nah, bro, we're talking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but I got a text message. I was like, we're talking. You know what I'm saying? Wait 2 seconons.
Yeah, like
it's okay.
Have some respect.
Yeah, it's okay. You can whoever
messy.
that is can wait 10 seconds.
Me and Mom talk about this all the time, or bitch about it all the fucking time, dude. Right? We're like the biggest bitchers when it comes to this. You know what I mean? Because it's just so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, man. I mean, but he's pretty good. Thankfully, like he'll listen.
Yeah. But most don't.
Most don't. That's the bad part.
So then in 2012, shit hits the fan.
Shit hit the fan.
Right? You get caught up in a mess. They charge you with a conspiracy to, a gazillion counts of cocaine distribution, and then you were falsely accused.
Mm-hmm.
So then you take it to trial. It's narrowed down to a conspiracy to distribute, right? Or
intend to, and I don't know what the technical word is, but it's obtain with intent to distribute.
Yeah.
I forget the word obtain, and they use a different word.
Okay, so now you graduate college, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's done. You almost get your bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 2012, this happened. So take me through the scenario, because you're your Homeland Security guy.
Yeah. So
how the fuck does this happen?
So I think I was a semester shy of getting my bachelor's in criminal justice. I have the associate in Homeland Security, but I was about a semester shy of getting my criminal justice degree. And I never went back because I opened my own business, and with the whole mentality is, I'll finish later. I never finished, but I opened my own phone room, and I was doing, believe it or not, electricity. Yeah. So I started selling electricity up north. Okay.
How do you sell electricity? You mean like for a company?
No, like residential electricity. Like, yeah, like nobody believes me when I tell them this until I show them. Right. So not right here in Florida, you have FPNL.
Right.
Right. That's it. That's your only player. You go up north and you have 13 different companies that you can buy electricity from.
No, here's different. The electric here is different.
You're in the city. Oh, because you're in the city of Palm Beach.
This is Lake
Worth?
Yeah, Palm Beach. Like this is Palm Beach Island. So all of Palm Beach Island, all of Lake Worth is ran by their own Lake Worth.
Yeah, power plant.
Lake Worth Beach utilities.
Yeah,
and they kill you.
Yeah.
When I lived up in PGA, it was half of what the fuck it is.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's fucking crazy.
I'm sure, because that's the thing. Like the poles, they belong to FPNL.
Okay.
The lines, they belong to FPNL. So not only is now Lake Worth charging you for the electricity, they're also charging you for the fee that they have to pay to use the lines and the poles to get the electricity to you.
Where do you live at?
West Palm.
West Palm.
Yeah.
What's your electric bill?
I don't know.
What's your electric bill, Rob? You're in PGA, right?
Near there yet? $150 a month.
Okay, so when I was in PGA, it was like 150, 170, 180. Here, fucking 350,
I'm sure.
375.
I'm sure.
And it's not like I got like some big ass house.
No, but it's because they add on and they add on and they add
so
on.
They're paying FPL to use their shit So then they double it, basically, is what they do.
Yeah, and they have to. And you can't get around it because the lines belong to FPL.
Can't hate on the business move. I mean, I guess.
And it's the same thing all the way up north. You have 13 different companies that you can buy electricity from, but each and every one of those companies uses one pole and one line.
Interesting.
And it's like, it took me a while to get my head around all of this. It's insane. Like, literally, I could have FPL, and you next door could have XYZ, and the other guy next door could have the other guy, and everybody's on the same line.
Fucking crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It's insane. But, it works. That's how it works up north. You have the option to choose whatever provider you want. So I would call you, try to find out what rates you're paying for your power, for your bill. All right. And I had seven different companies that I worked with that they would send me pricing every morning, because the price changed by the minute, by the way. Right. So every morning they would send me their standard price for the day. Okay. And then every day I would try to figure out, you're with company 1. If I switch you to company B, I can save you half a penny per kilowatt. You know what I'm saying? And then give you a 2-year contract on that. And that's how you sell electricity,
And then how does that lead into the conspiracy?
It doesn't.
That's
what I was doing.
Okay.
That's what I was doing. That's why I never finished my bachelor's, because I opened that office. I had like 15 employees at that office. And like, I was just I'll go back when it slows down. When you know what I'm saying? Like, at a certain point, I'll go back. And I never did. So through that time, and I mean, I was no angel, dude. Like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I was, always in the straight and narrow, and I went to church I was around, you know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody makes it really without having a couple skeletons in the closet.
I don't think so either.
So I have mine, and I knew a lot of people. By the time that 2012 came around, again, I had my office. It was very successful. I grew up here, basically, in West Palm. Went to high school in West Palm. I knew pretty much everybody, and that's what jammed me up. Back then, I used to be a big partier. I used to go out a lot. I used to snort a lot of cocaine, and it's me. I'm not ashamed to say it. That was me. Unfortunately, that's who I was back then. And I knew a lot of people. So there was this case that kind of blew up all the way from Belle Glade to Miami. I'm talking about 60-something people, right? And I knew some of the top guys. I knew. So they said, let's put it that way. They said I knew some of the topper guys. So they came one day. They arrested me. Obviously, I had cocaine on me because I was a heavy user, okay? Charged me with your normal possession, whatever. Went to gun club, spent the night in gun club, got out on bail the next morning, and grabbed a flight to Cuba that afternoon.
On the run? Kind of. Well, yeah.
I kind of figured what was going on. You know what I'm saying? DEA doesn't just storm your house in the middle of the day for just, half a gram of cocaine. Right. Doesn't usually happen, So, I mean, yeah, I came out the next morning on bail, left the same day to Cuba, and then my mom started calling me. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I said, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea what's going on. But I'm staying here for at least 3 months. Like, I'm not playing this game. So as the days went by, obviously they kept knocking on the door and they can't find me. So where do they go? They go find my mom. Search my mom's house, like freaking destroy my mom's house.
But now why would they do all that over a half a gram of cocaine?
Because it wasn't the half a gram of cocaine, right? It was remember at this point, I don't know what's going on, right? But at this point, they've arrested 50 odd people in this big conspiracy case that they were having. They actually did a pretty good job of catching this big network that was going on of cocaine coming into the country and being distributed throughout. Okay, so at this point, I don't know any of that. I just know that DEA doesn't catch you for a freaking half a gram of cocaine. That's all I know in my head.
But that would make you run to Cuba? A half a gram of cocaine?
No, not the half a gram. The fact that the DEA was the one that arrested me.
But they only got you with half a gram of cocaine.
But why would the DEA arrest me for half a gram of cocaine?
Because it's illegal.
No, but they don't do that.
I don't.
And that's the thing. That's my background, my school background.
Okay.
They don't do that. No way, shape, or form. Like they snuff their nose at that. Like that's below them.
So basically, you only had half a gram of cocaine, but from you going to school with the Homeland Security and all that, you know that it's way
There's
bigger.
There's something else going on that I don't know about.
I follow you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I dip. I'm like, I'm gone. They can figure this shit out. I'll find out when I come back. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? So as the week goes on, my mom starts calling me, they raided the house. They searched the house. What's going on? I said, listen, I have no idea what's going on. All right? I don't know what to tell you. Just don't tell them where I'm at. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So after like day 8, my mom calls me and says, hey, listen, like we're not doing this anymore. I got a lawyer for you. I've already paid him. When are you coming back? And I said, no, you're not listening. You're not listening. Tell the lawyer to give you the money back because I'm not coming back. You know? She's like, but you got nothing to do with this. I said, I know that I don't have anything to do with it. You know I don't have anything to do with it. But obviously somebody else thinks I have something to do with it. Okay? Oh, they just want to talk to you. I said, dude, the DEA doesn't talk to people. They don't talk to people. This is what I want to know. Do you know? Yes or no? That's the conversation they're going to have with you. But anyways, long story short, she kind of got me with like my niece. You're not going to be able to see your niece if they tag you as a fugitive. You're not going to be able to see your niece. You're not going to be able to come back. All that fun stuff. So I come back, right? I come back, normal, scared out of my freaking mind. Think I'm going to get arrested in the airport. Nothing happens.
I'm surprised you got through the airport.
But I didn't have an arrest warrant. I didn't have anything out.
You're just out on bail, right?
Yeah, but that's not. I can travel on bail.
You can travel, yeah.
Yeah, I can travel on bail.
Can they extradite you from Cuba?
No, that's why I went.
So they could have never got. They couldn't. They don't have jurisdiction to go over there and grab you.
No, not legally.
No,
not legally. I mean, I know people that go over there and grab people and bring them back, but legally, no, they can't. They can't go into Cuba and arrest you.
So Cuba does not work with the United States
in no way, shape, or form.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
No, there's no relationships.
So usually it's like a private investigator that would get a fugitive on the run in Cuba, right? Yeah, like a Dog the Bounty Hunter who's looking for what's her name?
Yeah,
what's that?
He's looking for that
Gabby.
That girl.
Yeah, Gabby.
Well, he's looking for the guy.
Yeah, he's looking for the guy. Yeah.
He'll get him. I think he's gonna get him.
Yeah, he's a fucking. He's in some shit. Yeah. He's in some trouble.
Well,
you know what I'm talking about? Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's he in trouble for? Fucking taxes? Is that what it is? I don't know. He got indicted.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
He's out on pre-release. I guess that will look good to the judge if he finds the guy.
Yeah.
I bet he's really looking now, right?
He's going to find him.
You think he'll find him?
He said, he said the other day he's close. No.
Yeah, it's, one of
that's
those
his,
things.
his
the closer you are, the further you say you are.
He is pretty good, though.
Like, But it's the exact same scenario. Somebody will fly in, grab somebody, and then catch a boat out.
Mm-hmm. But the actual FBI or Secret Service, they're not. No, they're not going to Cuba government and saying, "Hey, tell us where Tico, Jesus."
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not. There's no communications between the Cuban government, and the U.S. government.
Okay. There's
really no relationship there. Which is part of the reason why everything's so shitty. Because they want to know I'm the big bad. You can't. We're here and we can make it, and you're the bad guys, and what I'm saying, always talking shit and doing less. So there's no relationships between the two governments. So no agency can go in and just grab it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're talking about, I think there's been 2 cases that I can remember. Okay, one of them was a child, Elian. Okay, I don't know if you remember him. He came in with his mom on a boat. The boat sank. Mom died in the ocean. The kid actually was brought into shore by a dolphin.
What?
Yeah. That was back. And the SWAT team went into the kid's aunt's house where he was staying, grabbed the kid and sent him back to Cuba because his father was demanding his son back. So at that point, And again, it's all PR. Okay.
Right.
The Cuban government said, no, his father's here. His father's demanding his son. You have to give him back.
Mm-hmm.
The SWAT team went in the house, grabbed the kid, and sent him back. And I think the other case was a woman who killed an FHP officer. Same thing. Went to Cuba. And I think, but I don't think they've extradited her. I'm not sure if they have.
Right.
But that one, they're talking about getting it.
You say a dolphin?
Yeah.
It's like a dolphin?
Like a dolphin, yeah. Like an actual dolphin, yeah.
I love animals.
Yeah.
Way more than people.
Yeah, man.
So now you decide to come back, but at this time, you're thinking about just staying. Your mind is set on staying in Cuba. Like, fuck the U.S.
I was going to stay I wasn't going to stay permanently, but I was going to stay for like 4 months until whatever was going on was over. Because I knew it wasn't going to last more than, 45 to 50 days. So
you were going to figure out what you were looking at, and then basically based on that, maybe make a decision. Are you going to stay in Cuba or come home?
Well, no, because my whole thing was I legitimately had nothing to do with whatever was going on. I legitimately had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thing was they're coming knocking on the door. Okay? And I don't want to be put in the position that I was put in. You see what I'm saying? I don't want them coming to ask me anything. You know what I'm saying? So if they're already making arrests, it's going to take 45 to 55 days, and that's it. That's going to be the whole case. I'll stay in Cuba. When everybody has their jail sentence and when everybody's already pleaded their case, whatever the case might be, you know what I'm saying? There's no knocking on doors anymore. The case is over. So at that point, I will come back. And eventually, I was going to find out as time went on. I was calling people, finding out what was going on. So I was going to find out what the case was about eventually. But it wasn't an idea of, let me go and maybe I'll stay forever in Cuba. Look, not like that thought never crossed my mind. Because again, like legitimately had nothing to do with what's going on. I knew enough to know that they were going to come knock on my door to ask me questions about what was going on.
Okay, so now your mom talked you into coming back earlier than you had originally planned, right? So now you come back, you get through the airport, which I don't know how the fuck you got through the airport. I know you were out on bail, but I'm just surprised that they didn't grab you. But in that big of a case, 60 fucking people?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They didn't have an arrest warrant on me. Yeah. They didn't have a bill on the lookout for me. They didn't have anything.
Right.
Because at that point, I was just kind of a person of interest.
Right.
And honestly, I don't think they knew I was out of the country. Like, honestly, they didn't know I was out of the country. So I took a private charter to Cuba, and
that was that, right?
That was that. You know what I'm saying? Technically, they didn't know I was out of the country.
So now you come back, and then how long is it until they come start talking to you?
So I come back, I think it was on a Thursday. I meet with my lawyer at some McDonald's. And the guy goes like, all right, so we're going to go turn ourselves in. I said, no. You're going to go back to the DEA office and you're going to work out a deal where they're going to give me bail for turning myself in. Like, that's not going to work. Like, let's just go happy willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? So the lawyer was telling me the same thing. Listen, they just want to talk to you. There's, they don't have an open case on you. They don't have an arrest warrant on you. They just want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, absolutely. Tell them that I will come talk to them if they guarantee that if they make an arrest, they will give me bail.
And how'd that go?
They agreed to it.
Oh.
But they never did. I spent like 70-something days in gun club fighting the fact that you do that. You can't say I'm a flight risk, okay? I was in Cuba. You can't touch me. And I came back. And I walked into your office. So how are you going to say to the judge that I'm a flight risk? Based on what? But that still took 75 days because they were like, no, we're not going to give you bail.
But hey, they promised you that they were going to.
I was like, look, but that's the whole reason why. Like,
you
why,
idiot.
Yeah.
You actually believed that.
No, I knew they weren't going to.
You knew you weren't going to walk out of that motherfucker.
But I was still trying. But I was trying. And again, it took about 70-something days. Made the prosecutor look like a freaking baby. Because at one point they asked me to, put a property up for my bail as securing the bail that I wasn't going to run. I said, yeah, no problem. We'll put my mom's house. It was paid off.
How much was the bail?
$300,000.
God damn.
Yeah.
30K, right?
Yeah. And they wanted a property to secure it.
Fuck.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, the prosecutor started saying, oh, you can't use that house because that house is being investigated to find out if it was paid off with illicit funds.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm like, well, when does your case date back to? Oh, 3 years. Awesome. My mom's house has been paid for 10 years. So, I mean, you can't say I'm a risk.
How long did that take to get approved then?
Oh, my God. That took like a month.
Yeah, I know.
You know, yeah, it was a while.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I spent in gun club like 75 days just waiting.
Shit.
You know, I ended up getting out on bail. I went to trial. Like I said, you know, from the very beginning.
You took the feds to trial.
I took the feds to trial.
What was their offer?
Their offer was 18-month probation.
You idiot. Didn't anybody ever tell you, do not take them to trial? They're going to beat you?
Yeah.
You know, they're like 99% conviction rate?
Yeah, but that's actually a common misconception. They're 99% conviction rate because nobody takes them to trial. Because 95% of the people just take the plea deal. Because, yes, it is incredibly stupid to take the feds to trial. I'm not saying it's a smart move. I'm not. It's incredibly stupid. They have more means and more resources that you could ever have. Okay?
Listen to me. If you take them to trial and you make them spend time and money, they are going to fucking bury you.
Oh, and they did. Believe me. And I came out dancing. You see what I'm saying? Like, I came out good. It took me 11 months to go to trial. So I was on pretrial detention for 11 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I was making them work. Okay? But I ended up going to trial. In one of those meetings that they have to figure out the status of the case, a status check, I guess they call it. I sat in front of the prosecutor, and she goes like, listen, if you cooperate, that was when they gave me the plea deal, we'll give you 18 months probation, all right, and you walk out of here. I said, absolutely, yeah, let's make a deal. What do you want to know? Oh, who's this person? I don't know. Who's this person? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And at one point she goes, all right, listen, so you're saying you don't know anybody. That's fine. We need you to testify in front of a grand jury that you know this person so we can get an arrest warrant.
Even though you didn't know him.
I said, yeah, that's what I know. I was like, but I don't know them. She was like, don't worry about it. We'll coach you. We'll prep you is the word they used. I said, so you asking me right now to lie under oath in front of a grand jury so you can get an arrest warrant?
You said that to him?
Yeah. She was like, no, I would never ask you to lie. I said, but I just told you I don't know these people, and you're telling me you're going to prep me. So what are you telling me? Like, I'm confused. Okay, I'll go testify in front of the grand jury. Let's go right now. I'm going to tell them I don't know him. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't like me.
What was the plea? What was the deal that they offered you without testifying?
There was no deal.
They didn't even offer you anything?
No, there was nothing.
It was either you cooperate and you say you know somebody you don't know, or people, more than one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They're not going to let you off on
No, it was 4. Yeah.
4. And so basically lie and say that you know this person so that they can get a warrant, 18 months probation, or
go to trial.
That was it.
That was it.
They didn't come with like...
That was it.
Wow.
That
so
was
it was A or B. Holy fuck.
That was it.
And what district was this?
Right here.
Miami?
No, right here, South Florida. West Palm
Beach Federal Building?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Right here. Yeah.
Okay, so then... So obviously you don't do it.
At that point, at that point, I'm like, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know for a fact that you're not going to be able to prove 15 counts that you have on me. You know, at that point, it was a matter of trying to figure out what are you going to be able to prove. Okay? And like I was telling you earlier, like, conspiracy, there's no way you can't get around that. You know what I'm saying? So I went to trial knowing I was going to get at least 5 years. Because that's the minimum mandatory. The judge has no say in that. He has to give you 5 years.
Mandatory minimum.
Mandatory minimum.
Now, when you're going in, when you go to get sentenced, what is your attorney telling you you're looking at?
Well, when I could get sentenced, not when I went to get sentenced, when I went my last day of trial, right? Because, again, they had like 15 charges. And you're looking at 30 years.
That's a big risk, buddy.
Yeah. Well, but again, I know... Because and I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, oh, he's full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's okay. But, like, I'm not going to take the feds to trial risking 30 years if I have something to do. If I know you can bring some shit up and if I know you can prove my bullshit, I'm not going to take you to court for 30 years. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I legitimately didn't have anything. I knew some of the players. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I didn't, okay? But I didn't have anything to do with it. So my case, my trial was a week long. And in that 5 days, okay, they said my name probably 5 times, less than 5 times. Like they had a whole board of defendants and co-conspirators, like literally a whole board made up. And my picture was like in one little corner over here on the side of the board, not connected to anybody, because they couldn't connect me to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't connected to anybody, not because I was really good at what I was doing. I mean, I had nothing to do with it. So it was impossible for them to connect me to that whole case. Like I said, my deposition, probably about this high.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In that stack of paper, my name comes up twice in the same sentence.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not stupid either. I'm not going to take the feds to court, you know what I'm saying, and risk 30 years if there's really nothing going on. You know, I mean, unfortunately, you know, you can't beat conspiracy. A cockroach can be friggin', you know, convicted of conspiracy.
Yeah, my friend's going through it right now. He's been waiting 10 years to get sentenced.
Yeah, I'm sure.
10.
Yeah.
And it's a bullshit case. I read the whole fucking indictment, from front to back. I mean, the case it's an odd case. I mean, they could maybe get him on negligence, maybe. You know, I don't want to throw him out there, but the case is bullshit. You know, there's 10 other people. He didn't make any money off of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He was just a part of it, but not a part of it, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? And he's taking it to trial. And, you know, he's got a monster fucking lawyer, but he's been waiting 10 fucking years to go to fucking...
That's crazy.
To just go to trial. It's been 10 years now. I mean, that weighs on you.
Yeah. The uncertainty, man.
Yeah. So now you go in, you go to trial, lasts about a week. Now you come back for sentencing. What's your lawyer, when you're walking in there to get sentenced, what's your lawyer telling you?
My lawyer said
I'm always curious to what these motherfuckers have to say.
My lawyer said literally, it was like, your minimum you already know is 5 years. Okay. But they're going to try to enhance the charge. They're going to try to give you...
upward departure.
Yeah, upward departure. They're going to try to do, what's it called? Obstruction of justice, because you didn't cooperate. So they're going to try to help you on that.
Wow.
Yeah. And they did.
They charged you with the obstruction of justice because you didn't cooperate?
Yeah, they tried.
Wow.
They tried.
That's steep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
I've never seen that.
So that's what I'm telling you. Like, I came
fuck.
out dancing because my judge looked at the prosecutor and she goes like, obstruction, why?
You had a good judge.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, he didn't cooperate. He doesn't have to. That doesn't mean that's obstruction of justice.
Wow, they hated you, bro.
Yeah. I'm telling you that the prosecutor hated me. Like, I spent 3.5 months in Port St. Lucie, in the county jail in Port St. Lucie, just waiting to get sentenced after my trial was done and I was convicted and stuff like that. And I would make her drive up there every weekend telling her, yeah, come on, I'm ready to talk.
Just to fuck with her.
Just to fuck with her.
Yeah.
Just to fuck with her.
Wow, it's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, shit, I'm up there.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, man.
I have a ton of friends that go on to trial. They go to trial most times, and even if they do plea, and they don't cooperate. I've never heard obstruction of justice.
Yeah.
They really wanted your ass for whatever reason.
This is what I'm telling you. They gave me 15 charges, like 13 or 15 charges, and the only one that stuck was conspiracy.
So the guidelines when you go in are mandatory minimum 5, and then what did it go up to? If you were it depends on how many points you have.
Yeah, it depends on how many. And again, I had like no point. I'm at 0.
Yeah,
I don't have a criminal record. College graduate, business owner, all that stuff. So I'm at like friggin' 1.
Yeah, but you probably started at like 36.
Yeah,
and then you work yourself down, accepting responsibility. Right. That's 3 points. You know, this, that, the other.
The only problem.
Oh no, you don't get that because you went to trial.
Because I went to trial.
Oof, 36. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what'd you end up getting?
Just 5 years.
So you got blessed.
That's what I'm telling you. I danced out of there, man. The judge says minimum mandatory. I have to give you 60 months. I can't give you anything less. That's what I'm giving you. Blah. For
basically just being around the wrong people and being addicted to coke.
Yeah.
Did going to jail stop you? Is that when you stopped using cocaine? Is that when that stopped that whole run?
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it was kind of a slowdown, obviously, because now I'm in prison. Okay, so it's not as easy. But no, it took about a good year. It took about a good, I would say, almost a year
After you got out.
after I went in. What were you talking about, when I went in or I came out?
Had you already stopped cocaine before you went in?
No, before I went into prison.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, then you get out.
Right.
You're still using cocaine.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So I got out, and once I got out, I went through a drug treatment program in prison, and I got out kind of trying to rebuild, okay? Because like I said, I lost a lot. You know what I'm saying? All my accounts were frozen, taken, everything. So I came out literally with nothing. So I came out focused in rebuilding. I said, I lost 4.5 years. Like, it is what it is. It's time to get it back. So I came out. I came out to a halfway house over here on Military and Belvedere.
Salvation Army.
Yeah. I got a job at one of the Aldi's warehouse. Made a little bit of money there. Bought a pickup truck, and started a remodeling company.
Construction company, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
That's hard work.
Yeah. And I went up from there, man. Like I said, I busted my ass. But God bless that little freaking Dodge Ram 1500. I beat the hell out of it. I beat the hell out of that truck till I got a bigger truck and a trailer and a bigger truck. Made enough to buy the first house, fixed it, flipped it, bought the second house, fixed it, flipped it. Was able to buy my house. So I kind of came in with that freaking. I came out with blinders. It's the best way I can describe it. I came out of prison with blinders, man. Like, this is what I want. By the time I'm 30, this is what I want to have. And I didn't get to it because unrealistic goals and expectations. But I came out with blinders, and I hit the road running.
So you come out, you do the construction, you meet your wife?
Oh no, my wife was with me through all that.
She rode with you through the 5 years,
through everything,
4.5 for whatever was good time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you get out, you start doing construction. She's already in the rehabilitation, area of work, right? Then you guys buy your first house,
mm-hmm.
right? And then you decide to make a change and go in with her in rehabilitation, like the rehab.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So my wife started in the rehab field while I was in prison. Okay, because like I said, I was heavy. I was a heavy user. So I guess when I went in, she kind of took that as a sign for herself, and she started working in the rehab field. She didn't know how to help me, unfortunately, and I don't know if she could have, but she felt like she needed to be able to help me. So she started working in the field. She started as a secretary in a pretty large rehab center here in West Palm, and she worked her way up. Opened her own, what's it called? It wasn't her own business because it was with them, but her own department.
Mm-hmm.
She ended up opening her own department within that business, taking a bunch of the insurance companies to court.
Would you say kind of like an umbrella? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She got so good at it. Like, again, they gave her own department. They made an entire department, gave it to her, and said, "You're the head of the department. You only answer to the VP."
Now, did she get into that because of you?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, again, I was
you owe her, pal.
Yeah, I was a very heavy user, and she didn't know how to help me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I asked her, because I asked her, I was like, why in the hell would you get it? Like, when she first started working, I was like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? Like, like, that's not something that somebody just wakes up one day and says, hey, I want to go work in rehab. Like,
Yeah.
And that was the answer she gave me, and I'll never forget it. She goes like, man, I was never able to help you, and I want to be able to help you.
Good woman, buddy.
Yeah. She stuck with me throughout the entire time. She stuck with me through trial. I would get transferred. And before I got to where I was going, I already had money in my books. And I'm sure you know how hard that is. Like, when they transfer you, nobody knows where you're going.
Yeah.
They
have you in a medium?
No, they had me in a low, and then in a camp in Alabama.
Oh, shit.
First time offender, American citizen, no background, no nothing.
Oh, you went to trial.
You know.
I thought they would have put you in a medium because you took him to trial.
Yeah, no.
No, you got lucky. You got lucky starting off at a low.
Yes,
but I think they couldn't put you in a medium because you're nonviolent, and I think you have to have more than 10 years to go to a medium.
Right.
There's an amount of time, and 5 isn't enough.
No.
You have to have more than 5 to go to a medium or violent.
Yeah.
So, you got to a low, and then you can't. Camp's a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense. No. It's a fucking party. Is what that is.
I mean, I went to the worst camp in the country probably, but I mean, it's
a fucking party.
Fucking babysitter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The only bad thing about it is you're secluded from your life.
That's about it.
You put pause in your life.
It's wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to. It's fucking crazy. I used to see him training to go get the book bag, like on like the highway, to bring all the shit back. You know what I mean? Because the guards only come 4 times a day.
Yeah.
So I had seen them, when I fucked up, and they'd be running up and down the fucking hill, and I would say to one of my friends when I got to I said, why the fuck is this guy running up and down rocks? Like, is he fucking like cuckoo? And he's like, nah, man, he's getting himself in shape to get the shit at the fucking highway. He's only got so much time. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, like, when you see, like, really, this is, like...
It's fucking...
Wouldn't it just be better to put an ankle monitor in?
Yeah, let me stay... Like, this is not good for my health either.
Yeah, how much money is the government paying on this joke?
I could tell you. Because who was in here that... I don't know if you were here for that. It was Anthony Caiucci, who I probably just fucked up his name again, which I do every time. Did I say it right this time? Caiucci. Yeah, we looked it up. We did a shoot, and it's $34,000 per federal inmate.
That's crazy.
A year.
That's
annual. So if you do 5 years, that's 140, right? 30, 60, 90, 120. That's $150K for every person doing 5 years that we pay out of our taxes for bullshit.
On a joke.
When you can just put a fucking ankle monitor on.
Because literally there's a line that they say, don't cross it. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is the honor system, dude. Like you said, the guards still show up, but a couple times a day. So that's a lot of money for that.
But do you know why? Because they're privately owned. They're privately owned prisons. We got more prisons here than we do in any other country.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're privately owned, so they're money makers. It's all about the money.
It's crazy.
That's why there's a gazillion prisons here. That's why they don't want to give you house arrest or probation, because they're privately owned, and then they get a kick, but we pay for it out of your taxes. Yep. So now you get out, you do the construction. We got off track because we started talking about how fucked up that shit is. Yeah. And then, you decide to go join your wife.
No, so I didn't join my wife. So I talked my wife into this. Okay. My wife is a very particular person where she likes stability and knowing what's going to happen. So my wife is the type of person that I don't care how much I make, okay? As long as I know I'm going to make that every Friday. It could be $100. It doesn't matter to her. As long as she knows that every Friday she's going to have that $100, okay? So when I came up and told her, I was like, listen, you've been in this field for the last 10 years. And this was about 2 years ago. This wasn't very long ago. You have ample experience, okay? You've been to places where you've basically built them from the ground up. You've been to places where you've basically relicensed them through a transition of ownership. So why are you still at one of those places? So what do you mean? I was like, just why don't we open our own? Like, you're always complaining about how they don't care about the people, they just care about the money, and it's just a numbers game, and it's just a revolving door. Like, let's do something about it. She was, and it took me a year, 12 months to convince her to say yes. And I think she finally did, because the place that she was working at, the ownership was so bad that they were just running through the money and weren't paying the employees, weren't paying their licensing, they weren't paying anything. They were just blowing through the money. You know what I'm saying? And they were telling her to, like, write notes where that never happened and stuff like that. I'm like, you're going to go to prison. Like, literally, these people are going to send you to jail. This is fraud, what you're doing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it took all of that for her to say, all right, you know what? I trust you. Because again, I've worked for myself since I was like 20. Like I've had maybe 4 jobs my whole life. Eventually, I just branch on and do my own thing. You know, so it's nothing new to me. Again, I came out of prison and just built this construction company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she's been with me through most of that. So thankfully, she's learned to trust that. You know, I don't know if it's smart. I don't know if it's a smart thing.
At least you can fucking admit it. You know?
But, you know, so I convinced her to open our own place. Ended up selling our house to open it because it was expensive to do it. So we sold our house. We rented a location over in Dixie Highway, right by the Carvel ice cream. And I remodeled the whole thing. Like when I got in there, it was just a studs, you know. I remodeled the entire place from the ground to the ceiling.
Oh, so you're like a handyman.
Yeah.
Oh, we need that, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
my man.
Everything that everything.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I got your number.
Got some projects.
Oh, we got fucking projects every other week.
So I remodeled everything, man, and I made it where it was a small, intimate group. Okay, I didn't want to make it. We wanted to break away from the stigma of just a numbers game and revolving door. Like I've probably had the same clients since we opened. Like I have 8 clients right now at that facility, and 5 of them have been there since we opened.
When did it open?
July 9th was the official opening date.
Okay.
Of this year.
So now, and they stay overnight there, the whole 9?
Yeah.
How long usually are the stays?
It depends on the person. Like for the heaviest level of care, which is you go into treatment every day. That's about 30 days, 30 to 45 days, no more than that. Then you step down where you start going in 3 times a week. That can be 6 months. Okay, and then you go into once a week, and that can be another 8, 9 months, 10 months, depending on the person and how comfortable they feel with where they're at in their recovery.
Do you have like a detox?
No, we don't have a detox.
You don't have a detox.
No.
So the patient would have to go to detox somewhere else.
Right.
And then they would come to you.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it's 30, 45 days, small thing, not overcrowded. You know,
no, like I said, I don't have more than 9 clients at any one point.
And that's a big fucking risk area of business.
Oh yeah.
Because of all the fraud and and they're watching you like a hawk.
Like a hawk.
You better not make one fucking pen dot mark. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Especially here in Florida.
Especially, man, right now when I first opened this, like everybody was telling me I was crazy, because if you open like a geographical area, there's probably 70 something rehab spots.
Yeah.
Right here in West Palm.
And they're all fucking doing bullshit.
And they're all fucking doing bullshit. You know, so again, we've been blessed that literally we opened on a Monday. On a Tuesday, we got our first client. On a Wednesday, we got our second client. And by Friday, we had 8 clients.
Congratulations.
You know, and it's maintained that. And it's all been like, we don't do any advertising. We don't do anything other than it's word of mouth. You know, people who know me, people who know my wife, just knowing what we do and what we're about. Because literally, I haven't spent $1 in advertising.
Do you think you will, or do you think you'll just keep it small?
No, I mean, eventually we will, because I don't want to stay that small. My idea is to buy a building. That's my goal, okay? So I want to keep what the treatment is now. So what I mean by that is that the therapist per client ratio, right? So I can have a building, I can have 1,000 clients, okay? But if I still keep the groups to 6 or 7 clients per therapist, it's still a small environment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's my idea, to buy a place that's big enough, because right now we have a 2-story house, right, that we have for this. But, you know, it doesn't have a pool. It's in a nice area. It's on the intercoastal, you know. But I want to have something where I have a pool on site, where I have enough room to put a gym on site, where I have enough room to put an arcade room or a video game room or a lounge area on site. You see what I'm saying? And I can only do that if I grow. Because right now I have a gym inside the garage and a couch, you know, which is cool. You get a nice chill spot, but it's not to where I want it. It's not as comfortable enough for my taste.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. That's the one thing that everybody that has seen the way I've done this has criticized about the way I've done this. Okay.
I actually think it's a good thing, because I think that the person with the addiction is going to get a lot more out of it with just 8 people.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you keep it small, cozy, and tight, than some fucking rehab with 100 people in there, and it's like anybody really is listening. I mean, really. I mean, come on.
And I agree with you. That's why that's one of the core ideas that we've maintained.
Yeah, I don't think
everything that I've done, everything that we have done there, like even the furniture in the house, like we have TVs in every single bedroom, we have fridges in every single bedroom, we have 2 fridges in every bedroom, stuff like that. Like I designed it as if I was living there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we have big screen TVs, like if I was living there.
I think you did the right thing.
And that's, yeah.
Because you're more like, say somebody has a really bad addiction, you're more likely to go to a place like yours where like you can sit there and watch fucking TV.
Yeah.
Like you don't take the world away from you. You know what I mean? And you have a refrigerator in your room. So I think whoever criticizes is a fucking asshole and doesn't know anything.
Because it's the thing. It's all the industry is all a numbers game. You see what I'm saying? So why am I going to make you so comfortable?
Well, there you go. There's your niche.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you want to make them comfortable so that they fucking pay attention.
That's what I think.
Right? Like, am I fucking retarded? Or
no,
what?
that's okay. But you and I are looking at it in a treatment perspective. You and I are looking at it as a how can I help you perspective. You and I aren't looking at it how much money can I make off of you, and how much money do I need to spend on you in order to make money off of you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I don't have to give you a fridge in your room. I don't have to give you a TV in your room. All I have to do is give you a bed with a mattress and a couple sheets. You see what I'm saying?
And then who the fuck is going to listen to anything you have to say? They're just going to be counting down the days to satisfy their husband, their girlfriend, their mom, or whoever the hell put them in there. They talked them into do it, and they're just sick of their shit. Do you take the phones?
At first we do. The first week we do.
Then you give them back.
Then we give it back, yeah.
See, and I think you should. First week, all right, and then give it back, because maybe not even take it the first week.
But here's the thing. We don't know, like when you first come in, we don't know you. Mm-hmm. We don't know what you're about. And everybody says that they come in because they want to be clean. Like nobody says, I want to keep using. All right. So everybody says they want to come in to stay clean. But not everybody means it. Not everybody's ready. Even if you mean it, not everybody's ready. And this is something that the person has to be ready in order to do, because it's hard. It's not easy. It's not, okay, I'm just going to stop using today. It's deeper than that.
Well, I guess if you're willing to give up your phone for a week, right, then that would show a sign that you're serious about it. And it's only a week, and then you get it back.
And that's the thing. Those are the kind of little things that we kind of force on people to see how serious you are. Because if you're not willing to stop using your phone for a week, I mean,
then you're not.
What are you doing?
Then you're really not ready to quit, right?
Then what are you doing? Like, I'm telling you, I'm taking your phone, because I don't want you. Like, you can walk out my door right now, and you can go find whatever you want. You're not going to find it in this neighborhood. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. You know what I'm saying? So you're not a prisoner here. You're here because you want to be.
Yeah.
But I need to be able to have the only means that you have to get high. I need to have that until I know what you're about.
I think that's a good plan. You take it for a week, because that tells you, as like the owner of the fucking joint, right, that this person's serious. If they're not willing to give it up for a week, then they're not ready.
They're not ready.
Okay, so that's a done deal right there. But you give it back, and that's what's good, because then it's not like you're in fucking prison.
Yeah, no, and I'll give it back. And if like, it's not like I take my phone and you can't use your phone. Like if you tell me, hey, listen, I need to call like my mom, or I need to call, I don't know, XYZ. Like, here's your phone, put it on speaker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you can use your phone.
For the first week.
Yeah, for the first week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, I don't know you. I don't know what the person is like. I don't know anything about you. So let's just say worst case scenario, you can't call a dealer to drive up to this house.
I think that's a good play. Do you think that's a good play? Take it for the first week. Most likely, if person might go, actually.
If you can't make a commitment then you're not ready.
Or
you don't belong there yet. So it's like.
But at least his joint gives it back.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, for certain circumstances, right? I mean, but for the first week, I think fine.
Yeah.
All
right. This is the website. Take us through your site here, Tico.
So it's pretty simple. I mean, there's, like I said, we haven't spent pretty much any. I made this, by the way. I made this myself. You can probably tell.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. It's not bad.
So those are the different programs that I was telling you about. So PHP, IOP.
What's PHP?
PHP is partial hospitalization.
The hell's that mean?
That means that you go to treatment 5 times a week.
Oh, okay.
And then IOP is you only go 3 times a week.
Okay.
Okay. And then OP, which is not there because it's not really something that needs to be up there, is you go once a week. But that at that point you've been sober for the last 6, 7, 8 months. MAT is medication assisted treatment, which means is we have the ability to give you a certain type of medication to help with the cravings, to help with the anxiety, to help with the moods, to help with that kind of stuff that comes along you coming off a drug.
Do you have a medical director?
Yes.
Okay, you do.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have EMDR?
Yeah, those are different tactics and different approaches that we take in the treatment, right? So EMDR, holistic meditation, like we actually have a chiropractor come to the house every day, not every day, but every week. We're contracted with a medical lab that does brain mapping. So what that is, they'll come in and they'll map out your brain with a little device. I don't know if you saw my Google page, but I have a picture of it on it. And they'll kind of figure out where your brain is more active and where it's underactive. And then they'll create a treatment based on that and retrain your brain to create the wavelengths that you're not creating and stop creating the ones where you're hyperactive.
Yeah, I got that done.
Yeah? Did you?
You know why I got it done?
Why?
Well, if anybody's ever watched any of my podcasts, I take modafinil, prescribed legally. And it's been around forever, 76, I think, maybe even earlier. And they still don't quite understand how it works. Like, how the fuck does this drug work? But it doesn't show up in your urine, okay? There's no addictive properties to it, none at all. Nobody's ever overdosed. I mean, you just get like you get such a bad headache that you don't want it. You know what I mean? Yeah. But they still don't know how it hits the S1, the S2, the dopamine, the serotonin, where it makes the body produce more serotonin and dopamine without like the drop off. Okay. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So
it's gradual.
It's gradual, right? So like when you just stop it, there's no, of course you're not as
right, but there's no crash.
There's no crash, right? And they can't figure it out. So I had my doctor, who's a friend of mine, I had him hook me up to that motherfucker. Yeah. We put it on there, and I can read medical charts and shit. And I was trying to read through it to see if I could see, not that I'm anything, I'm a fucking idiot just with the, And I was trying to figure out just how it worked, like, so I sat there I look like a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
All right, so does this holistic shit work? I mean, have you seen positive results from it?
Yeah, I think that's one of the bigger things, man. I mean, and holistic and meditation, it goes back to the same thing, because it's what I tell everybody. It's hard. It's not an easy road to take down. It's not an easy road to go down. And if you try to do it by yourself, you're going to fail.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when I say that is because you go to AA, right? And AA is huge with religion. Okay. But it doesn't have to be religion. Like, it can be you. You know what I'm saying? It can be you understanding that you're part of something bigger. It can be you understanding that you don't necessarily have control over everything. You don't necessarily have control over every aspect of life, even if you want to. You necessarily don't, And that understanding, I think, has helped a lot, because you get into a mindset where you're now able to recognize and accept certain things, because a lot of people, you're going to come in with a lot of guilt. You've done a lot of shitty stuff. You've hurt a lot of people, and the main thing is, how do you get over that? Because up until now, you've been medicating that feeling. Up until now, you've been getting over it by getting high. So now how do you look at your mom in the face when you just stole everything she had in order to go get a freaking fix?
Right.
How do you do that now? How do you process all those emotions? You know what I'm saying? And that has helped with that, because now you get to look into yourself and say, okay, there's, it's not all about me. There's other things around me. I have to accept this because that's the reality, and it's helped us reach a lot of people on a different level, I guess.
No, I think it works. Especially the meditation.
Yeah.
I've tried to meditate, but it didn't work too well. Can you meditate, Rob? Yeah, I know it works. I mean, I know it works, but I've tried.
Never really tried. I mean, let's go to a quiet place and try to concentrate, but I've never really put too much into it.
I got that part where like I would put like meditation like music
Guided
on
meditation.
and like lay down and so maybe I did meditate, but like it didn't take me out of the thoughts that were in my head. It might have just relaxed me.
Oh no, it takes a while, man. Like it's not. Yeah.
And I'm a very impatient person.
Yeah, it takes a while.
As Rob will tell you. So go to programs, Rob. So it's all the things that you
So
have
yeah,
up there,
it's an explanation of the little tabs that you saw up top.
Okay, and that is what's the website?
AscendRecoveryCenter.com.
Okay, we'll have that in the description, and then go to admissions, and then explain this here, Tico.
So this is kind of a little landing page for you to kind of tell you how easy it is to just make the choice, right? So you tell us a little bit about yourself, okay? Pretty much who you are, where you're from, what's your drug of choice, okay? And what do you want to do? Like, what do you expect? What is it that you want to do? All right? The pre-screening is sort of it's a little bit more in depth about your medical history, your using history, stuff, whether you have mental health or you don't, stuff that helps us know whether or not we are a facility that's capable of treating you.
Okay,
because there's different types. So if you have a lot of mental health issues, we can't treat you. You have to go to a facility that specializes in it. Like if you're schizophrenic, I can't have you. Okay, you have to be at a place that has 24/7 medical staff, stuff like that.
but they can still call you for a referral.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
and you'll refer somebody that's not fake.
No,
pretty much.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what we tell everybody, call us. Like, I don't care if you're coming to me. Like, it doesn't matter if you're one of my current clients or not, call us. If there's anything we can do to help you, we will. And we've had people where we've referred out with autism, with stuff like that we just can't treat.
That's your niche.
Because
that's what in any business you have for it to be successful. What is the difference between you and the other guy?
Yeah,
right.
And I think
we talked about that on the other.
Yeah,
the other
absolutely.
One. And then you got receive a personalized treatment. That's like 1-on-1, right?
Yeah. So that's the part where I was telling you where, there's no more than 9 clients at any point. Okay. So that gives you the ability to sit down with a therapist 1-on-1 every single day.
Yeah. I bet
Every
that
day.
works the best.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, we do groups. We do meetings where they're groups. But you have the ability to, every single day, if you want to, you can sit down with a therapist. Okay? We make you every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't get to know you in a group setting.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So there are times where you're required to sit 1-on-1. Okay? However, you have the ability to every day, if you wanted to, sit down with a therapist for 5 hours. You can.
1-on-1.
1-on-1.
That's great.
You see what I'm saying? Nobody has that.
I can see that working. The other shit, I can't.
No.
1-on-1 every day for hours,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
The odds are better. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. And at the beginning,
in my opinion.
And at the beginning, a lot of people take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's kind of weird. I'm not going to say at the beginning, but there's a time when there's a certain amount of time. So the first couple of weeks when somebody comes in, right? They don't talk to anybody. They don't want to talk to you. I have to force you to a 1-on-1. Like, leave me alone. Okay? And that's normal. All right? And you're in a new environment. You have Your experience says that I don't care about you and you're just here to fill a bed, right? So, but by week 2, right, they've realized that it's not the same environment and it's not the same numbers game. So they start opening up more. And by week 3, you are in the one-on-one phase.
Well, they've been to all these bullshit rehabs. Usually before, I don't want to say they, because we all have demons. You know what I mean? Everybody, whether it's drugs, it could be anything. But that's a good setup. I think you got to really. I was just running it through my head. I mean, that's like a really good setup the way you have it. You know what I mean?
I think it'll do well, and I think we'll reach a lot of people.
Because they go to rehab 20 times.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and then now on top of this is a funny mix that you got going on here. So now you have a treatment center with your wife, and you're also doing a television show, right?
Television station.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so how were you able to? And we'll get to that website, but how you're going to be on the third largest Spanish-speaking television network. Okay, now how do you, with no experience with this, correct, get to the third largest Spanish-speaking?
Knowing people.
Just networking.
Just networking.
That's what it's all about.
Just networking. So I know several people, and I started, making business cards. Like, I didn't start making business, but I needed to make business cards and brochures and stuff like that for the open house. Right, so all the prepping, all the stuff that you do for when you're going to open, like your grand opening and stuff. And this network was brought to me. So let me rephrase. Not the network. I don't own the network. I wish I did. I don't own the network. You know what I'm saying? But they're local affiliates. The local affiliate of that network was brought up to me, and they said, "Listen, this is a good opportunity. This is what's going on. Would you be interested in taking over?" And at first I said no, because I was focused on the grand opening for the center, So I was like, no, listen, I would love to, but I just don't have the time. You know what I'm saying? Months went by. I opened the center. They brought it up to me again, and I said, listen, I can't. I can't. There's no way. There's not enough hours in the day for me to do this. And if I tell you yes, I'm just going to mess it up. You know what I'm saying? But I was offered a third time, and they said third time's a charm, right? So at that point, the center was already on its way. It's pretty much on autopilot, right? So my involvement there became a lot less. You see what I'm saying? So now I had a lot more time to do other things, and I'm a busybody.
Yeah.
Like I can't go into the office and stare at a computer for 8 hours.
You want to be moving around.
Yeah, no, I have to be. Dude,
right.
I will go crazy. I'll go crazy if I have to sit in an office for 8 hours.
And what affiliate did you work for, Rob?
I worked for the NBC, and we did the Fox affiliate for West Palm Beach, Channel 5.
Okay, so he works on basically the same thing, but just in
It's an affiliate of, the bigger NBC.
Yeah, he's a lot bigger.
NBC is your major, CBS, Fox, you're the affiliates of
the major
that network.
Okay.
So the same principle.
Same principle.
A little bit smaller, a lot smaller, but yeah, same principle. So we get all the programming, right? And our job is to add the local stuff to that programming, right? So they make shows for a national network, right? But they can't put on that feed the news for West Palm. See what I'm saying? Because in Texas that doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay. So that's what our job is. So we film the news for local West Palm news, like the news, the weather, and stuff like that. Anything with local events we'll cover, right? So we take the national feed, we implement the local feed, and then that's what you see.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
And here's Mega TV, right? So this is what you're going to be on?
So this is a very crude and young website, also made by me. So one of the reasons why I had the opportunity to jump on this was because the person who was on this before me didn't do very well. So they didn't even have a website. Okay, so I felt like one of the main things to do was, have a website, an online presence. So I built this in about probably 2 or 3 days. I'm not very good at it. I just grabbed a bunch of, the shows that they had and I plugged it in. All right. So it's being worked on, a different website. It's being worked on the background where I'm going to have live TV. So it's going to have the live feed for the network. It's going to be on the actual website. Obviously, all the social media links to it, it's all going to be there. But it's definitely a project in its infancy. Unfortunately and fortunately at the same time. I know Mega TVs has been in this area for the last 4 or 5 years, but nobody knows about it. So that's why I say it's in its infancy. The network is, again, one of the third largest network in the country. They're not in its infancy. But our local station is. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And when are you going to start this?
When I would start what?
The television station.
It's already started.
Oh, it's already started.
Yeah, it's already being worked on. Like right now, that's the feed is on the air. So if you have an antenna, you tune into.
But I mean, your show with Glenn.
My show with Glenn, we shoot a pilot tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so that's. Excuse me. And then when will that go live?
So we shoot the pilot tomorrow. All right. We start figuring out how to play with it, how to kink it. Right. So we should have all the kinks worked out by sometime next week. So once that's done, we'll start shooting 3 or 4 episodes before it even airs. So Glenn's show should be live by the end of October.
Okay.
End of October, beginning of November.
And that's what his website's glennparada.com. I think he put it on the top when he was in here. He put it on the top.
Show, yeah.
He's got a mortgage company. He puts his television show to he's big mortgage guy, you know what I mean? And like loans and shit. And at the fucking top it says Parada.
It says Parada Show.
Parada Show.
Like
the Parada Show.
Yeah, he should.
Fucking guy's glowing like you won't even believe with this TV show. I can't hear you without the mic.
He guys on TV show. That's great.
Oh yeah, he's glowing. Every time I see him, he's fucking glowing.
Do you guys have is your own studio that you're
yeah
and all that? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we have our own studio, our own in-house editing, our own in-house staff. Everything's in-house.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the show will do pretty good. We talked a little bit about it. We've decided 9:00.
9 p.m.
Yeah. On Saturdays.
Do you think that's a good time?
Yeah. I mean,
9 p.m. on a Saturday.
Well, but
I don't know.
But you're filling. You have content already on this channel. Right? From a national level. They're just filling the local level. What's missing is the local news, the local shows, local programming.
How long did you do work with NBC and Fox? How long?
So in total, 10 years. I was in Pennsylvania.
He'd be a good person.
Worked for NBC affiliate up there, CBS affiliate, and Fox affiliate. And then down here, 7 years for the local NBC affiliate. And I have, we could talk after. I have a bunch of connections in the Spanish reporters that I know from over the years that some are out of the business. John Favoli, he came in to talk to us. He was an anchor for years, Cuban American.
Yeah, we had John Favoli, and he was on, what was it,
WPTV. He was the main anchor in the mornings.
Great guy.
Yeah,
Great
nice
guy.
So
now, nothing, just playing devil's advocate, I guess, in a way. What is your opinion on him doing it at 9 p.m. on a Saturday? I don't know shit. You did it 10 years. You're new to it.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. Believe me, I'm not going to take insult to anything, man. I'll listen.
And I'm just asking it for you because the guy did it for 10 years.
So here's my opinion on
3 different stations.
On the news, local news. Everybody goes Fox and CNN, and we're not talking about that. We're talking about local news. It's hard nowadays. Every time when you're younger, right? 6 o'clock was when parents sat down at the TV and you watched the 6 o'clock news. No one's home at 6 o'clock, right? They're out. You're still working. You're still doing stuff. Weekends, I don't know. That might be tough. But I will say, people are home by 9 o'clock. People are relaxing. They're watching Netflix or they're on their phone. But if you can draw them at 9 o'clock, that they know whatever we're going to call this show, whatever we're going to call this thing, and at 9 o'clock. Now, weekends might be tough, I think. I think, personally.
Because now you're narrowing it down to a older age group, because most likely anybody say 18 to maybe 30 are probably getting ready to go out.
And I think the age group that we're trying to target is between 25 and 37, because the type of show that Glenn's doing isn't really for anybody under probably 27. Because remember, the type of guests that he's going to have is not the type of guests that are going to be attracted to teenagers or young, 20, 22, 23, 24-year-olds. So that's why we kind of picked around there, because normally, like he says, you're usually home by that time. You're usually trying to wind down. And usually at 30 years old, you're not planning to go to the club. A lot of 30-years do. I'm not saying they don't. You see what I'm saying?
My opinion, I think the demographics, the younger, aren't watching TV per se.
Right.
Now, if there's an app, if there's, a live feed that they can get to, yes. I think the older generation is still the ones that will sit down in front of the TV screen and watch that. I just think that's all around the board. I think the local news has moved more toward the digital, meaning through their apps, through their things for people to watch. Because like I said, no one's home at 6 o'clock. 9 o'clock could work. I just don't know about the weekend.
Be honest, what do you think about Saturday?
Saturday's tough, I think.
So he's basically saying
that's just my opinion. I mean, there's different things.
Yeah.
You guys
no, I mean, and again, listen, man.
Yeah, we're just giving you feedback.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Please.
I'm not.
And the only reason I brought him into it like this is just because he has 10 years with CBS, Fox, NBC. Who the fuck else was? Somebody else, wasn't there?
Fox, NBC, no, all those are.
Yeah.
Those
like I said, please.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'm not. I won't take it the wrong way.
Because think, I don't mean to keep it, but just think, when you have special shows, Sunday nights are a good night.
Sunday night. That's
Sunday night, because think about it. When do the Grammys, when are these shows, these big award shows are on Sunday nights at 9 o'clock?
Boom.
At 9 o'clock, because I got to get ready for the work week. I'm not partying anymore. I'm hungover from a weekend of thing, and now I'm going to sit around and I'm going to watch TV. So Sunday, perfect. 9 o'clock, I know I'm going to watch this. So Sunday at 9. Saturday, I'm still on the boat. I'm still partying. I'm still out. That's
even older guys. Yeah, and remember, you're in fucking Palm Beach, bro.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers got money.
That's
they're on a boat.
Yeah.
On Saturday at 9 o'clock with some, you see the 90-year-old guy with the fucking 24-year-old broad that's draining his wallet.
Sunday.
So Sunday's the day.
Sunday at 9.
Okay.
Right? With all due respect, I think you'll get buried if you do 9 o'clock Saturday.
Me.
I think you'll get buried. And I mean that with all due respect.
No. Believe me, I love the input.
You think he's going to get buried on Saturday? Be honest. He's cool. He's Cuban.
Yeah,
he's
man.
He's not American.
I would do Sunday. Me personally. But again, you try it, you see, you can check your numbers, you can do all that type of stuff, and move it. But consistency, right?
And that's the main thing. That's the main thing that I'm working on is the consistency.
Sunday 9 o'clock
of shows. Like this channel over here, unfortunately, has had so many come and go, just because of the way it was ran. I pulled every show when I came in. I left one show.
Yeah,
I'm lying. I left 3 shows because 2 of those shows were under contract, and they've never been messed with because they were under contract. So obviously I kept those shows because everybody knows that that's what they're playing. But I pulled everything else.
And the other thing I was going to say, I think people really, myself, in Spanish TV, show me the hot spots in the area. Take me to the local restaurants. Take me to the family-owned businesses. Take me, because then you're involving the community. You're getting your name out there. You're, working with whatever local restaurants people like to eat.
Yeah.
Have shows where you're like a Guy Fieri. People love that shit. He just goes to all these different places. That's just my 2 cents. You're doing awesome with what you're doing with anyway. Just start.
Yeah, that's the whole idea that I have behind it is, get the community involved.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, I think, then you're destined to fail.
Yeah.
Because again, we're not CBS, we're not NBC.
Right.
You know, so if you don't do something memorable, if you don't do something that people will watch you for, like, I mean, now it's Netflix nowadays. Like, that's what everybody's watching. You know, that's why I'm so heavy in the whole, you know, social space. You know, like right now, like I said, I'm building the entire website just so I can be able to have the TV show on the internet. Like, just go to my website and it's there live, and you can pick whatever show you want to watch.
See, he's gonna try to get like the mayor in, or not, like or to play beer pong, like on the show. You know what I mean? I don't know how the fuck he's gonna get that. That's what somebody put in the comment.
We might use apple juice
or apple.
You know, I mean,
you gotta save them.
Yeah,
fuck, you know what I mean?
There was, I don't know where it was I saw it, but like, you know, in Colombia, I want to say, I don't know what country it was, Colombia or somewhere. They're showing their weather forecast, right? And it is this drop dead gorgeous, I mean, butt out to here, boobs out to here, hot, tight outfit. And I'm like, man, that's smart, because every guy is watching the weather, and he doesn't care what she says. He could say there's going to be a fucking monsoon today, and he's like, yep, yeah, that's good.
Captivating that audience.
Hot weather girl.
Tell me one ugly girl that's been on Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, ugly. I mean, some are smoking. Some are, you know, still pretty. Tell me one ugly girl that's on Fox. Whoever's running Fox.
I don't think I can.
He's probably the biggest pig in the fucking planet. Huh?
Sex sells.
Yeah, and it does. But you know what? And we're gonna captivate that. But we're gonna. My idea for this whole thing is, sex does sell, okay? But I don't want to have. I want to have a better type of programming.
You want to have a more responsible? Is that the word?
I want, to call it that. A more responsible programming. Okay.
So you don't want to have sex shit, but you want to play beer pong. I'm just fucking with you.
So no. So I'll have a cute weather girl, but she's not going to be wearing a thong.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
right.
See, and that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, we'll play beer pong, but with apple juice.
Yeah, right.
You see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because no, I do agree with it, with the whole notion that sex sells. It does. I mean, nobody can refute that. It does.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put people out in the thongs.
Yeah. No, that's insane.
You know.
No, I just mean a pretty girl.
Yeah.
Have you contacted like the local TV stations, newspapers to get some publicity for yourself?
No, not yet. No, for myself?
Yeah, for your
for myself or for this channel?
For this channel.
No, not yet. That's coming up in the next couple of weeks, because again, I came in and there was nothing.
Yeah.
There was nothing. So there's no way I can go out there and pay for a billboard or even get a billboard for free. Yeah. And then, well, what am I showing you?
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So that's been my last almost 2 months. That's been my last 2 months, is kind of building the backbone of this. So then when I go in, because we have an event on the 29th of next month, where we're going to give out some awards, some recognitions to local business owners that have been around for a while, some politicians, some reporters and stuff like that they've been doing things and they've been doing it for a while and they're recognizable, right? So that is my date for the grand launch of the channel. You see what I'm saying? So I have until the 29th of next month to make sure that I have enough content, that I have enough people in the field, that I have enough of everything, so that when this thing goes live, it's live. You know, it's not this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is just like a prototype.
Right.
That we're looking
at.
It's like beta. It's beta 1.0. Right.
So on the 29th, this cannot be beta.
Right.
When you come to the website, it's got to be like, wow.
Fire.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I work. That's how I've learned to work, and it's panned out pretty well for me. Again, I'm not perfect. I'm prone to making 1,000 mistakes. So that's why I'm telling you guys, like, the feedback is appreciated. Believe me, I'm not going to get upset. I want it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know about this stuff.
Yeah, and see, that's why this will probably work, because you're open-minded and you're taking your time. You're not just rushing through it. And if somebody says, why, Saturday, you might get killed, you're not like, well, fuck you, this is what I want to do. Like, you're open-minded. But, and when you're like that, especially like from somebody like him who did it for 10 years of his life, and then some, and you're willing to just, hear the feedback without being offended, that tells me that you'll make it one way or another.
Yeah, man, and that's what I'm telling you. Like, I don't care. I don't care what I think I know. Okay, I haven't done this for 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the bottom line. That's where I go back to. So, I mean, I have my station manager. He's been doing this for 45 years. And he'll come at me and says, hey, listen, we need to do this. And I said, absolutely not. Charge him. And he'll come and tell me, he was like, you don't want to charge him. I said, yeah, I do. I do want to charge him. I'm not doing this shit for free.
Yeah.
Says you want to do for free. And by the third time he tells me, I pick up on the idea. I said, all right, fine, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been doing this for 50 years.
Yeah.
Like he damn near he invented.
He knows.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when he tells me, it's like, no, you trust me. You do not want to go this way. Then, all right, you know.
I was like that too. With I've had a million businesses. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you know, you want to do it. You're like, you think you know it. You know, because we just think we know.
Yeah.
But I, just like you, I've always been open to people's opinion and shit like that. Because if you're not, especially somebody who's done it, you're just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
If you're around somebody who's done a TV show or a rehab that was real that worked, and you don't sit there and at least listen to them without being offended, you're never going to make.
Then you shouldn't be there.
You shouldn't be there.
You know, I mean,
You're just pissing. Just give the money to us.
Yeah.
We'll break it up and go do something.
Yeah. And that was, believe it or not, that was my condition.
Yeah.
Like my condition for coming on board with this project was that person stayed. Like he could not leave. If he left, I would walk out with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it'd be kind of stupid for me to sit back and after saying that, just blow you off.
Well, they're not. To me, that's not a businessman. That's not an entrepreneur. Because an entrepreneur and a businessman that's successful, I'm sure Steve Jobs was the biggest dick in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But don't think that he wasn't listening. Even if he told the guy to fuck off, that Waski, or I can never say his last name right. You know, the other backbone, because Jobs was the guy who had like the ideas. You know what I mean? The vision. But what's his name? Waski?
Also, yeah.
Whatever his name is. The other guy, he was the one who built the shit.
Right.
You know what I
the
mean?
brains.
Yeah.
Brains.
So, you know, I think you'll do well because you're open minded and you're not rushing it. That's the biggest thing.
And I think that's the main thing. And I tell this to everybody because everybody tells me, it's like, you got to start doing publicity.
No.
I was like, I wish I could.
For what?
But that's what I say. I wish I could, but for what?
You're just pissing money away.
You know, like right now we have a lot of projects on the works. You know, we have the online streaming. We have Roku on the works. We have Comcast coming in. We have a lot of stuff coming. But that's the key word. It's coming. So I can't advertise to you and say coming soon. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just not, you know, by the time I get there, you forgot about it.
Right. And for all you know, you might run into some kinks and it might not be the 29th.
No, and you will. And that's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
you know, so why the fuck would you buy a billboard? So whoever even told you that should just go like work at, I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like I plan for the kinks.
Yeah.
Like I haven't done TV, but I've done business long enough to know that no matter how much you plan, something is good. Something is going to happen.
I bet you any money. Glenn is like, when?
Yeah.
Right?
But as long as you're shooting stuff ahead of time, and I always call it like a library. You can't just launch a show and have one episode.
No.
And then you're like, oh fuck, next week we have to fill the same time slot, but this business owner just canceled on me, or this place canceled on me, because now you're screwed. You're rushing. So always have a plethora of show or shot things. And then you're ahead of the game, and you're already got 6 deep. So now you're just working ahead. But yeah, I mean, you're on the right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like once we play with the kinks, once we iron out all the kinks on Glenn's show, then we'll shoot 3 or 4 before we even air. Because exactly what he's saying, you don't know. Like you're bringing guests in on their time.
I'll tell you another reason why, other than the Saturday thing, that it should work is because you won't be persuaded by like a moron.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That thinks they know what they know when they really don't know anything. Like you're man enough to sit here and say, look, I'm new to this shit. So if somebody has experience, I'm willing to hear feedback. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of other people, you know, they'll have people in there like, come on, get it out. And then they rush it and they blow all their money and they lose.
Yeah. And I think that was the main issue with previous management.
Yeah.
You know, that they don't know. You know, because I know who they are. They didn't know about the industry. And they were just concerned about, you have to push something out. I don't care what it is, but you have to push something out. You know, and it doesn't work. It didn't work. And that's why they went belly up, you know,
right?
And at the very least, I always say this, at the very least, I have a guide of what not to do.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good way to.
You know, like, so at least I'm 1 foot ahead of everybody else. I know what not to do. They just did it, and it didn't work.
I'm going to give you 2 phone numbers when we leave here to call.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. Yeah.
See, we're all old school here. Yeah, I was raised old school. You were raised old school. He was raised old school. I mean, we're old school.
Man, that's good. That's rare nowadays.
Yeah, Rob will help you out. He'll help you out. You know, you take it, don't take it. You know, whatever.
No. Again, I'll take it. Like I told you guys, man. I'll take feedback and I'll take help from anywhere I can take it, because I don't think I'm better than anybody. And I'll whatever. I don't know. A smile, a handshake. I'll take whatever anybody has to offer me, as long as they do it honestly and wholeheartedly.
And that's why you'll be successful. That's why you will. You will. And I think Glenn's the same way.
Yeah, I think so. And that's what we were talking about last time. When I was here with Glenn, he has that genuine about him.
No, he's genuine.
You know, and I think that's why we click. Like I'm telling you, like I've met Glenn face to face 5 times, brother. No. You know, but we click because like I keep saying, and you know, I'll give you everything I can. All right, if I feel that from you, if I perceive from you that you're a genuine person and you're doing this because you want to, not because you want something from it, man, I'll go to the end of the world with you. You know what I'm saying? And I think Glenn is that type of person as well. And he has the personality. He gets you comfortable. Yeah. Which is
that's why he's so good at the mortgage shit.
Yeah, you know I mean, it's so insane how comfortable he can make you feel after 5 minutes.
He knows the game.
You know, so
and I take the back. He's not. I said he was impatient. He's not impatient. He's excited.
He's excited.
Yeah, I misspoke.
Yeah, he's
sorry, Glenn.
He's definitely excited. I think I've talked to him every day this week. I've talked to him more this week than in the last month.
Is there anything else you want to promote here?
No, I mean, I think
maybe when you launch the show,
definitely,
you guys come back in, definitely, and we can pull up like not the beta, like the real, because now we know about you, we know about your struggles, how you got through it, and honestly, I think this is going to help you because it makes you more real.
Yeah, man, and I think honestly, like the main idea behind this television show, you're not gonna believe in, but my main reason for even walking into this damn network was to build some sort of program to teach even the clients I have at the center, to teach them how to do something, you know. And I just put one and one together. I was like, I'm being offered to be part of this network. I can take this network and I can create some sort of student program where I can teach these other kids that I have at the center how to shoot video, how to edit, how to record, how to work in TV.
When you update the website, put that on there. I think you should do that.
Yeah.
That, you know, that you'll help edit, you know, because here you go. You have a guy, comes from another country, comes over here, doesn't know English, gets through high school, gets fucked, goes to jail for 5 years, 4.5 years, gets out, does construction, can't do it, opens rehab, now television. So, and addicted to cocaine, missed that one, right? You know, blown gaggers. So that shows, you know, people that are in your treatment center that, look, you know, I'm living proof that you can do it, you know? So, you know, thank you for your time, and I appreciate you opening up.
Thank you for having me.
Not many people, you know, want to talk about shit like that.
Man, I'm an open book, man. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm proud of every single mistake I've made. I wish I hadn't made half of them, but you know what? I can't cover the sun with the thumb. I made them.
A very powerful person told me that there is no such thing as a mistake if you learn from it.
That's right. It's only a learning opportunity.
And a very, very powerful person said good things take time.
True. Also true.
So with that, I'll see you when you have the show live. You and Glenn can come back in and promote the show and show us what you got.
Definitely, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it, Tico. I'm sticking to Tico.
No,
all right?
That's good. It works.
Roja.
Rojas.
Say it.
Rojas.
The Rojas.
Yeah.
Rob, you live with Spanish. You better be better than me. Let's go, Rob.
Jesus Rojas. I can't roll
He's
my
hard.
Rojas. Rojas.
Who's better?
But his channel is 47, right? 47.
47. Yeah.
47.
Fuck you, Rob. All right. Who's better? Rob, go.
What am I doing?
Jose's?
You already messed up.
Jesus Rojas.
Okay.
I can't do that.
Jesus Rojas.
Rob.
I got the roll in the tongue. What the fuck do you mean, Rob?
You got to roll the R.
Jesus Rojas.
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 There you go. That's better.
All right, fuck it. All right, I'll see you.
Tico from now on.
Tico from now on. Fuck that. All right, we already know your name now. You'll be back again. I'll see you when you open up the show.
Definitely. And
we're all here to help you. Any advice you need, he'll help you. I will give you some contacts.
Appreciate it, man. I really do.
You can call him or I anytime you want. We're there for you, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Wish you all the best.
We'll get there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time, Tico, and opening it up.